2 games is the magic number for the Stallions to clinch a home playoff game, and they can slash that in half here tonight against the Oneonta Outlaws. Welcome to the Our Shop Fiber pregame show. Dan Shallon with you alongside Nick Zuppi. Nick, this is a Stallions team that was really hot over the last 6, but struggled last night to find a win against Amsterdam.
They came into last night undefeated at home in the month of July, but the Amsterdam Mohawks were a little too much for the Ponies last night.
And the Mohawks beat the Stallions 8-4 the final, and that clinched Amsterdam home field advantage throughout the entire PGCBL East playoffs for a 13th straight season. They've been so dominant, but Nick, Stallions actually out-hit the Amsterdam Mohawks last night 11-10.
The category in the stat sheet that the Stallions fans need to look at from last night, runners left on base. A season-high 16. Like you said, Dan, they out-hit the Mohawks. They just couldn't score them.
That's something that head coach Colin Martin talked to us about, and they said that they just need the clutch hit. But in a broader scope here for the Stallions now, if they want to go all the way, they're going to have to play the Mohawks in Amsterdam and win if the Mohawks are to make it to the East Final.
And the Stallions have had success there up at Shuttleworth. They won the first 2 matchups. They also tied one as well. So the Stallions have proved that they can go to Shuttleworth and beat Amsterdam.
Certainly, and another thing about last night's game that really didn't help Saugerties was walks from the pitching staff. They had 9 in total, headlined by 6 from Charles Batista.
Just, you can't do that against good hitting teams. The Mohawks put the ball in play. They drive the baseball for extra base hits. Giving them free bases, hit by pitch, the walk, the base on balls really hurt you.
Stallions did a nice job avoiding the crooked number throughout the game as well. Really, throughout the first 5 innings, it wasn't a bad job from the pitching staff. Just couldn't find the 1-2-3 till the 6th, and then Dan Galliff came in and did a great job giving the Ponies a shot.
Galliff through the final 5 innings scoreless. You couldn't ask for much more out of the Franklin and Marshall product. He gave the Stallions offense a chance, and that's all they need sometimes to win ball games.
They loaded the bases up 4 times last night with just 1 run to show for it. Switching over to tonight's matchup here against the Oneonta Outlaws. This is a squad that the Stallions have dominated all season, and they would love to get an easy win here tonight, an inch closer to that home game.
The Outlaws are the only team in the PGCBL that the Stallions have not lost to. 6-0 in their first 6 matchups with a run differential, Dan, of plus 41 in those matchups.
I'll do you one better. 15 straight wins against the Oneonta Outlaws for these Saugerties Stallions, and they're going to try and keep that going here tonight. Our sideline reporter Hannah Tampasis caught up with head coach Colin Martin ahead of tonight's matchup for what has to go right in order for the Stallions to win.
Every single day. We also ask that you now join us in a brief moment of silence.
Yep.
Thank you. You'll see some of our players and some of our staff wearing.
Bella, was that, were we on the right wave there?
We encourage all of you to show your spirit, your love, and your strength. Whether you're here in honor of a loved one or simply to make a difference, thank you for being part of this powerful cause.
Do you have the headphones?
We would also like to remind you that all proceeds from tonight's 50-50 raffle will be donated to the American Association of Cancer Research, courtesy.
No, you could still hear it from the computer, though.
Together, let's sock out cancer. One
all
pitch,
good. Coming
one
out of
team,
this.
And one step at a time. And
last
that,
2 games in the
let's go
playoffs,
to
right?
tonight's starting lineups, beginning with the visiting Saugerties Stallions.
I thought that's in that back half of this. Okay. What do you want? Just tell us. I'm fine with anything.
Jamie Z. Batting second in right, number 20, Adonis Medina. Hitting third at first, number 22, Dylan Passo.
How much
time? The designated hitter for the Stallions, number 25, Logan Sanchez. Hitting fifth, playing third, number 38, Brandon Fish. Batting sixth, playing second base, number 33, Casey Comiskey. Hitting seventh behind the plate for Saugerties, number 27, George Baker. Batting eighth, playing left, number 29, Dylan Fitzsimmons. Batting ninth, the extra hitter, number 2, Anthony Lino. Rounding out the lineup in center field, number 18, Griffin Crane. On the mound tonight for the Stallions from HCCC, number 12, Jace Van Valkenburg. Head coach Colin Martin, assisted by Ron Kelder, Colin Norton, and Pratsy Biggle.
Nick, you heard it from head coach Colin Martin. The biggest thing the Stallions have to improve upon is getting that big hit because they really want this game.
They really need to win this game as well. One more win if they hold on to tonight from clinching a home playoff game against the Outlaws, against a team they've had great success against this year.
And as we shift towards the playoff picture here for the Stallions, this is a Utica team that's heating up. They really want to play at home against a Blue Sox squad that's played them tough so far this season.
Just the Utica Blue Sox, they were in 5th place a couple weeks ago. Now they've climbed all the way up to 3rd. They're 3 games behind the Stallions for 2nd place. They're on the way up.
The Stallions have punched their ticket. Amsterdam's punched their ticket. The one team that's hanging on there by a thread is the Boonville Lumberjacks. One more game that they lose, and they're done, and they've lost 10 in a row.
That's a team that you thought 3 weeks ago was going to be a lock for maybe even the 2 seed in the Eastern Conference of the PGCBL, but 10 losses in a row here down the stretch has hurt them.
Has not been good, and the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs sitting there against the Utica Blue Sox. They're going to battle it out for 3-4. Still a chance that either of those teams can get the 2 seed. Boonville facing Amsterdam tonight with their season on the line. The Stallions are going to try and lock up the 2 seed, come a little bit closer here tonight in Oneonta. We're going to have first pitch for you on the other side of this break. Stay right with us.
In the 10th spot, playing right field from RPI, number 12, Owen.
Welcome to Oneonta. Dan Shalom with you alongside Nick Zuppi, ready for baseball here from Damaski Field. Martin Thorslund on the mound facing Jamie Z. First pitch is lined between the gap. In short and third, it's a leadoff single here for Jamie Z on the first pitch of the game.
Great hitting from Z. This is a guy who's been reinserted into the lineup after the injury, third game back, and now that's a hit in back-to-back games after the Golden Sombrero a couple days ago.
That was just his ninth at-bat since returning to injury, and now he's got back-to-back hits after going 0 for 7 to start that stretch. It'll be Adonis Medina, the right fielder, next. He led off the game yesterday against Amsterdam, that being an 8-4 loss for the Stallions. Takes a first-pitch strike at the bottom of the zone. Was 0 for 3 before a walk and a double in his last two at-bats. Stallions leaving 16 runners on base in that one. Z goes to second. Thorslund deals. It's put in play to the right side. A perfectly executed hit and run here for the Stallions. Attacking early. Back-to-back singles. Has runners at the corners with nobody down.
Ponies have early action against the ace of this Outlaws squad. Dan, Martin Thorslund comes into today after throwing a gem in his last start. 5 innings of just 2 earned run ball against the top seed Amsterdam Mohawks.
And this is an Outlaws team that somewhat caught fire over their last few games. Winners of 4 of the last 5. Before that stretch, they had only won 4 games on the season. We're sitting at 4-21 just a little while ago. Not the case anymore. Dylan Passo at the plate. Medina goes to second. The pitch is a called strike at the bottom of the zone. Medina in there without a throw. Runners are at second and third here for Dylan Passo. And Passo nearly launched a couple of balls out last night at Cantine Field, resulted in sac flies, but he's really started to do a job as the 3-hole hitter in this lineup. No ball, 1 strike count. Passo fouls it back out of foul play on the left side. No balls, 2 strikes. For Thorslund, it's been hit or miss for him on the mound. Over his last 3 starts, he either goes 5 innings with just 2 runs given up or 5 innings with more than 7. It's been a mixed bag for sure. Passo flares the ball over to short. Carrera can't come up with it. It's into left field. Coming home to score is Z. Medina holds up at third. RBI single here for Dylan Passo, and the Stallions are up 1-0. Still have not committed an out here in the first.
Dan, we talked about it pregame. Getting the big hit with runners in scoring position. Passo does the job right there on the line drive single just over the glove of the shortstop Carrera.
And immediately the Oneonta pitching coach out of the dugout. He wants to talk things over with Thorslund. And Nick, you talked about it last time against Amsterdam at Shuttleworth Park, a team that has clinched the top seed in the PGCBL East. 5 innings for him, just 2 earned runs, and 6 hits. He's already allowed 3 and still does not have an out here in the top of the first.
And this is a guy who gets knocked around a little bit as well. If you look at his start-by-start breakdown in the PGCBL, when he's on, he's on. He's only going to allow under 5 hits if he's on, which translates to less than 2 runs. But if he's off, he's going to get really knocked around. It's really the hit that hurts him. It's not necessarily the walk or the hit by pitch. When he's off, teams hit him.
This Thorslund's first appearance against the Stallions. Logan Sanchez in the cleanup spot for a second straight night. Takes a fastball at the top of the zone. 4-1. Logan Sanchez went 0 for 5 last night against the Mohawks. A couple of hard hit balls, but the Mohawks defense stopped anything from getting through. Trying to deliver here for the Stallions with runners at the corners and one already across. Checks his swing, does not go around on a ball in the dirt. Counts 2-0. With the loss last night, Stallions taking themselves out of contention to have the top spot in the PGCBL East, but they only need to win 2 games to secure a home playoff game in round 1. The 2-0 misses on the outside part of the plate. 3 balls and no strikes. No walks issued by Thorslund. Here to start off, it's been 3 straight singles from the Stallions offense. Thorslund set. Here's the pitch. Can't find the zone. Misses down in the dirt, and the bases are loaded with nobody out for Brandon Fish.
Perfect start for the Stallions here in the first inning. Come out aggressive, get runners on base, and put up a crooked number early after only scoring 4 runs and leaving 16 runners on base last night.
This is a chance to make up for all of those runners left on base, and the Stallions left the bases loaded 3 separate times last night against the Mohawks. Brandon Fish was at the dish in 2 of those instances and did nothing, trying to correct those mistakes here tonight. He does go around on a top of the zone fastball for strike 1.
Fish this summer for the Stallions. This is only game number 5. He struggled a little bit, 2 hits in his first 17 at-bats as a Stallion, but he hit .333 last summer for the Ponies in 12 games.
Looking to get back to that mark here in the dog days of July. Cuts on a fastball and misses. No balls and 2 strikes. Thorsland now on the cusp of his first out of this start. Medina is over at third, Paso at second, Sanchez at first. Jamie Z already has come across to score. He led off the game with a single. Thorsland fires. Fish slaps the ball to the right side, and it's past the diving Waterman at first. Coming in to score is Medina. It's an RBI single for Brandon Fish. The Stallions are up 2-0 off 4 straight singles from this offense.
The Ponies are galloping around the bases here early, Dan. 5 straight guys reach base, 2 drive-in runs, not trying to do too much in the batter's box. It's a pass-the-baton approach, something the Stallions offense needed to go back to if they were going to have success here today.
A guy who's been hot is at the dish for the Stallions now. Casey Comiskey, 4 for 5 last night for the Stallions. Takes a first pitch changeup on the outside part of the plate for strike 1. Thorsland yet to record an out here in the top of the first, and the bases are still loaded. The 0-1. Comiskey checks his swing. He goes around. Back-to-back 0-2 counts for Thorsland, but Fish in the last at-bat had an 0-2 count. Cracked a ball over to the right side to drive home a run. Comiskey's going to need to do the same here. Thorsland just looking for a pivotal first out in what has been a rough start for him. The 0-2. Comiskey pops it into foul territory on the right side. It goes out of play. Definitely seeming like something changed from the Stallion squad. We talked to head coach Colin Martin last night about the change in approach after they left 16 runners on base, and he just said it was simplifying swings and really attacking pitches. They left a lot of fastballs down the middle last night against the Mohawk staff, and taking advantage here tonight early on against what has been one of the best arms for the Outlaws and Martin Thorsland. Misses upstairs with the fastball, 1-2.
And Casey Comiskey is the perfect guy to have in the batter's box right now. He's really had a comeback of a season through his first 13 games. He was hitting 150 at this point in the season. His average has climbed all the way to 305.
Can't ask for much more. Weekly hits a ball to the third base side. This is going to be a tough play for Kennedy. He throws to first in time. Comiskey not agreeing with it, and neither does first base coach Colin Norton. But a run does score on the play. It's an RBI fielder's choice, and there's 1 down, 3-0 Ponies.
RBI number 19 for Comiskey, and it's already the 3rd run of the inning for the Stallions here in the first. They're set up for more as well. George Baker steps in, a guy who didn't play last night against the Mohawks, looking to do damage. Stallions with a base hit to the outfield could put up a 5 spot.
Already have 4 hits on the board, 3 runs, and it's only the top of the first. Last game that Baker played was a couple of days ago against the Boonville Lumberjacks. 1 walk, 2 hit by pitches, and a strikeout in that one for the Louisville product. Runners at second and third, 1-0 pitch. Clips the outside part of the plate, 1-1. This is just the Stallions' start that they wanted here in Oneonta after what was a disaster night offensively for them yesterday against the Amsterdam Mohawks. Only 4 runs scored and 16 left on. Baker with a hard hit ball into deep right field. Birdsworth going back. He takes a look. Is it foul or fair? Home plate umpire has not made a signal just yet. And now he calls foul. He's going to talk things over with the bases umpire. That was one that if it was fair, it's gone. He had the best view of it at home plate, but still not a signal just yet.
Looked like the sun was in his eyes a little bit here, Dan, at Demaskey Field in Oneonta, New York. Looks like the call of a foul ball will stand.
Was ruled foul. Baker got all of that pitch down the right field line. Nearly made this a 6-0 ball game. One ball, two strike count on George Baker, and Thorsland's going to step off. Baker got every piece of that baseball, just pulled it slightly foul. Still runners at second and third, one down the pitch. Baker chops it over to the right side. Robinson will take a look at home. Sanchez was coming home, and he's going to nail him. 2 down on a smart play from the Oneonta second baseman.
Just not smart if you're Sanchez from third. The infield was halfway in. Robinson over at second is a good arm. He makes a perfect throw to nail him at home plate, especially for Sanchez. He's not the fastest runner in the world, but you can't be mad at him for taking a shot.
As Sanchez was running to the plate, did not seem like he was at 100% right there, jogging a little bit, and it was an easy tag for Wirtz. 2 down in the top of the first. Still runners at the corners here for Dylan Fitzsimmons, who's the left fielder tonight. Takes a first pitch strike at the bottom of the zone. And the Stallions dugout not happy about that one. Seemed like it was below the knees. Thorsland has gotten back-to-back outs after he let the first 5 runners aboard here in the first. And Fitzsimmons chops the ball to Robinson over at second, and Thorsland limits the damage here in the first. Could have been a lot more, but he produces 3 straight outs after the first 5 get aboard for the Stallions. We go to the bottom half of the first, 3-0 Ponies.
Let it fly!
Welcome back to Oneonta. Stallions take a 3-0 lead in the first inning, and here's the Outlaws lineup that's going to try and respond. It's Kazuhara leading off, then Matt Carrera, Zach Porter, Cole Waterman, Dane Richards, Ian Wirtz, Zachary Robinson, Jaden Kennedy, Hugo Cohnhurst, and Owen Burnsworth. And Uhara smokes a ball off Jace Van Valkenburg. Both sides swinging at the first pitch and each getting rewarded with a single here in the first.
And it wasn't like both balls were weakly put in play. Z and Uhara smoked those baseballs. Uhara is the most recent example. He now sits on first base.
This is an Outlaws squad that's come alive over the last few games. They were in the bottom of nearly every single PGCBL category offensively, but they have rallied to win 4 of their last 5 against the upper echelon in this league, have knocked off the Diamond Dogs, the Mohawks, trying to do the same here against the Stallions.
Their team batting average as a whole, Dan, it's gone up 13 points over the last 5 games. They were at 216. Now they're all the way up to 229.
Back-to-back singles here for the Outlaws. Matt Carrera knocking one in. So both teams coming to hit here tonight. The first 5 reach safely for the Stallions. And now the first 2 for the Outlaws are aboard.
Good swing from Carrera. Not trying to do too much. Fastball in the outer third goes with it and lines a single. Back-to-back knocks for the Outlaws. They're set up for their best hitter and hottest hitter, Zach Porter.
Like you mentioned, Nick, Zach Porter has been on a tear for the Outlaws. A .291 hitter and was named as one of the All-Stars on this team. Van Valkenburg, his first 2 pitches got hit for singles finally. Gets one across without a swing. 0-1 on the breaking ball. Runners are at first and second here in the bottom half of the first. Weak fly ball into shallow center field. Coming on to make the play is Griffin Crane, and there's one down. And that's what Jace Van Valkenburg is going to give you. He's not necessarily going to beat you with the heater, but he is a mix of off-speed stuff that really trips up hitters and forces weak contact.
He loves going to his cutter. That's his bread and butter pitch. He can throw it going away from righties, force weak contact on the end of the barrel, and that's exactly what happened with Crane coming in to make the play.
Cole Waterman, the first baseman, at the plate now. Has runners at first and second with 1 out. First pitch is a strike on the outside part of the plate. It took Oneonta's Martin Thorslin 5 batters to get an out in the top half of the first. Stallions had 3. They leave 2 on base. That's now 28 left on for them in their last 19 innings of play. 0-1 pitch, cut on and missed in the dirt. Nasty off-speed from Van Valkenburg, and he's got his first 0-2 count of the evening.
After the Stallions put up a 3 spot in the top half of the inning, it's important for Valkenburg to get the offense back into the dugout and in the batter's box. They're hot. They're rolling. They had 4 hits last inning, 11 last night against the Amsterdam Mohawks. Van Valkenburg has to find a way to put up a 0 here in the bottom half.
Both runners will go. Waterman hits the ball to the right side, foul. Van Valkenburg lucky that that one wasn't in play. Uhara has a lot of speed over there at second base and definitely could have come home to score. Count stays at 0-2.
They got a great jump as well. Uhara at second and Carrera at first. Interesting by Waterman that he didn't see them going because it looked like they were going to be safe without a throw even, no matter which base, third or second. So Waterman fouling that off when there's not 2 strikes. Questionable decision.
0-2. Fouled back once again, and Waterman shakes his head after that pitch. He's liking what he's seeing. One of the new additions for this team has only played an 8-game for the Outlaws, and they've had a lot of players that have been coming in and out of this lineup as of late. A lot of turnover for a team that really struggled to get off the ground. Just 4 wins in their first 25 games. Van Valkenburg toes the slab. The runners at first and second and 1 out. Big cut and a miss. Baker gloves it. Foul tipped into the backstop's mitt. And there's 2 down here in the first after back-to-back singles to start the game from the Oneonta offense.
And that's a prime example, Dan, of what you alluded to earlier, the change of speeds with different breaking balls from Van Valkenburg. The pitch prior was more of a traditional slider sweeper. That one had much more break, looked like a 12-6, maybe even just a regular curveball from Van Valkenburg.
Stallions need this game badly as they look to cut their magic number to just 1 ground ball over to third that Dane Richards put into play. Fish will step on the bag with the force, and the Stallions put up a 0 after back-to-back singles from this Oneonta offense. We go to the second. Stallions up 3-0.
Tonight, we join together to sock out cancer in honor of the fighters, the survivors, and those we've
Welcome back to Oneonta. Dan Shalom with you alongside Nick Zuppi. Jace Van Valkenburg works out of back-to-back singles to start the game for the Outlaws. Puts up a 0 in the bottom of the first, and this red-hot Stallions offense back up here with Anthony Lino leading things off. First pitch from Martin Thorsland, put out a play to the right side. The Stallions had their first 5 runners reach base safely. 4 singles and a walk resulted in 3 runs, but then after that, Martin Thorsland retired the next 3 batters to limit the damage in the top of the first. Lino chops a ball to the left side, gloved by Kennedy. He throws across the diamond in time. 1 down here in the second.
Nice play from Kennedy over at third. He had to take a couple steps to his glove side and got Lino at first. Big out number 1 of the inning for Martin Thorsland.
And Anthony Lino, a guy that's still looking to find it, hasn't played in a couple of games for the Stallions, comes into this one with just a 182 average in 8 games. Griffin Crane at the plate now. He's the 10-hole hitter in center tonight. Swings at the first pitch he sees, a ground ball to the shortstop, Carrera. The throw, a little bit offline to the right side, but a nice play by Waterman. And there's quickly 2 outs here in the top of the second.
Martin Thorsland working efficiently here in the second after the long first inning where he had to face 8 of the 10 Stallions in the lineup.
He's done a nice job settling in. After those first 5 runners reach base safely, he's retired 5 in a row. Top of the order, Jamie Z at the plate. Takes the first pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Z started things for the Stallions in the first pitch that he saw. Lined it up the middle for a leadoff single. Thorsland set. Here's the pitch. Misses outside. 2-0. And for Jamie Z, it's just what you want to see. Missed a week of time for the Stallions in mid-July. And when he came back, was 0 for his first 8. But since then, has back-to-back hits. With 2-0. Off speed, top of the zone, called for a strike. Stallions offense already off to a much better start than they had last night. Left 16 runners on base against the Amsterdam Mohawks in an 8-4 loss. Thorsland paints the top part of the zone, but not called by the home plate umpire. 3 balls and 1 strike. 2 down here in the top of the second with the Stallions up 3-0. Here's the pitch. Z rocks it into deep left field. That ball is down. A 2-hopper to the wall. Richards chasing after it. Z is at second. He's going to stop there. It's a 2-out stand-up double for Jamie Z.
Great swing from Z in the second inning, Dan. Looks like he's starting to get hot a little bit and really turn the page after what was a really rough stretch of games for him.
His last 3 plate appearances have all been hits, just what you want to see out of Jamie Z. And now an RBI opportunity here for Adonis Medina, who also singled last inning. Came around to score as the second run of this game. Thorsland deals. Top of the zone off speed. It's 0-1. Stallions last night had an ugly number with runners in scoring position. Plated just 4 of 12. Thorsland tries to go back to the breaker. Misses in the upper part of the zone. 1-1. Z still standing at second. He was the first run of the ball game, and trying to be the 4th here for the Stallions in the top of the second. Thorsland set at the belt, the wind, the kick, and the pitch. Fouled straight back to the screen. A 1-ball, 2-strike count here on the Rhode Island product, Adonis Medina, who has come into this lineup and made an instant impact. 5 games for him so far, 5 hits, puts his batting average at .333.
And we've seen power as well. A home run, a double last night against the Amsterdam Mohawks, hitting second here today. I like that spot in the lineup for him.
The 1-2 is a looper into center field. Uhara coming in. He can't make the play. It bounces off him into right field. Coming in to score is Z. RBI single for Adonis Medina. He's 2 for 2 on the night, and the Stallions are up 4-0.
There's the hit with 2 outs and a runner on that the Stallions have been desperate for. Medina didn't get all of it, Ben, but he got enough of it to drive in Z from second.
The Stallions only had 1 2-out RBI last night against the Mohawks of Amsterdam in what was an 8-4 loss. Dylan Passo at the plate. He had an RBI single in the first. Takes the first pitch way outside from Thorsland. Runner at first is Medina. Stallions attacking early. They've already got 6 hits on the board, and it's just the top of the second. Thorsland set, going over to second is Medina. The pitch is missed upstairs, and having some trouble with it behind the plate is Wirtz. Second steal of the game for Adonis Medina in just 2 innings. Talk about making an impact with the speed. Adonis Medina has been a monster on the base pass for the Stallions. 5 stolen bags already so far this season, and just his 5th game. Thorsland can't find the top of the zone. 3 balls and no strikes here to Dylan Passo. Has issued only 1 walk in this game, and that came to Logan Sanchez in the first. Loaded up the bases. The 3-0. Fastball straight down the pipe. Passo has done a nice job settling into his role. Has become the 3-hole guy here for the Stallions, and the batting average sitting at just around .280 through 28 games. Rising freshman to Notre Dame this year, already playing like a college player. He works the 5-pitch walk. Thorsland can't find it with a fastball down in the zone. More trouble to deal with here in the top of the second with runners at first and second, and 2 down for Logan Sanchez.
Dan, it was the top of the order last night for the Ponies that accounted for the majority of their runs. They went 4 for 10 last night. Here today, the top 3 already yet to get out, and all of them has at least 1 run scored and an RBI here today.
Logan Sanchez looking to get a base hit. Was 0 for 5 last night against the Mohawks. First pitch he sees is grounded to the right side. This is going to be a tough play for Robinson. He throws to first in time. Thorsland works out of some trouble here in the top of the second, but the Stallions still get one across. They lead things 4-0 going to the bottom half. Bottom of the second here in Oneonta. Dan Shalom with you alongside Nick Zuppi. Nick, the Stallions are up 4-0, but it really could be a lot more for this team. The left on base struggles kind of continuing here. Already have 4 through 2 innings.
But they have 4 runs, more importantly. They only had 2 last night against the Amsterdam Mohawks. The Ponies already have 6 hits as well. Dan, this is an offense where if they can find ways to drive the baseball, that's the next step, right? They're getting singles, stealing bases, they're getting on base. But someone on this team has to drive it into the gaps and maybe score multiple runs on one swing.
Saugerties nearly had that in one swing. George Baker pulled a ball just foul that had home run written all over it in the top of the second. It'll be Jace Van Valkenburg in his second inning of work, facing the catcher Ian Wirtz. Steals a first pitch ball in the dirt. Van Valkenburg set. Misses with the cutter at the top of the zone. He was waiting for a strike call on that one, but never got it. 2-0 for the Outlaws. They had their first 2 runners reach aboard in the first. Kazuhara and Matt Carrera both swung at the first 2 pitches that they saw. Back-to-back singles, but then Van Valkenburg did a nice job settling in 3 straight outs. And a 3-ball no-strike count here to Ian Wirtz. Clips the outer half with that cutter that he uses so often, 3-1.
There was one point, Dan, this year for Van Valkenburg. He threw 14 straight cutters at home.
After the 3-0 count, has worked it back to full here against Ian Wirtz. Outlaws team that has rattled off 4 of their last 5 after having the worst record in the PGCBL. Wirtz grounds a ball to Z at short. He throws across in time. 4 in a row retired for Jace Van Valkenburg, and there's one down here in the bottom of the second.
Taking another look at that one, Dan. Z over at shortstop. He has such good range, right? He's quick with his feet, gets a couple steps to his non-glove side, throws across the diamond for out number 1.
Van Valkenburg set at the belt. First pitch to Zachary Robinson, high and away. The 1-0. Punch to the left side. It's a fair ball past Fish. He can't make the play. It goes into left. Fitzsimmons throws in quickly, but it's a stand-up double for Zachary Robinson. An unfortunate break for Brandon Fish. It just got past his outstretched glove.
Great effort from Fish. He went to the slide, but the dirt here at Damaski Field not helping his case. Bounced right over his glove, and it's an extra base hit for Robinson.
Jaden Kennedy, the third baseman, steps in. Second runner in scoring position here for the Outlaws early on. Kazuhara made it to second in the first, but then was stranded there. With the next 3 for the Outlaws going down. Here's the first pitch. Baker does a nice job stopping that one as Van Valkenburg pulled the cutter in the dirt. These Outlaws have really been hot as of late. Beat the top-seeded Amsterdam Mohawks at Shuttleworth Park, and knocked off the Diamond Dogs and the Dragons. Fell to Mohawk Valley here at home, but rebounding with a 9-5 win against the Boonville Lumberjacks yesterday. Kennedy checks his swing. He does go around for strike one. That a Boonville squad that has kicked themselves out of playoff contention nearly at this point. They're hanging on by a thread. If they lose to the Mohawks tonight up at Robert Smith Sports Complex, they are eliminated, and the East postseason is set. Losers of 10 in a row. And part of those 10 coming to the Outlaws and to the Stallions. Van Valkenburg bounces a ball in the dirt, 2-1.
And Dan, going back to the Boonville Lumberjacks, this was a team pretty much all summer long that was playing consistent baseball. They hadn't lost or won more than 3 consecutive games until the last 10 games where they've lost all of them.
2-1, skied past the head of Kennedy. It goes off the glove of Baker to the backstop. Moving up 90 feet is Zachary Robinson. And for the first time tonight, the Outlaws have a runner at third. A 4-0 ball game. Stallions leading here in the bottom of the second, but the Outlaws looking to get on the board. Van Valkenburg misses at the top of the zone. Not too sure about where he missed as he shakes his head. It's his first walk issued of the evening, and there's runners at the corners with one down. Not the worst thing in the world as the double play is intact.
And Van Valkenburg, Dan, is a guy who loves to get ground balls. He's not really a strikeout guy as much. He varies his speeds, gets the Oneonta Outlaw hitters in between on their timing. He's one pitch away from a double play that would end the inning.
We'll try and get it against Hugo Kornhurst, the extra hitter here tonight. Van Valkenburg goes back to the bread and butter, the cutter on the outside part of the plate for strike one. Runners at the corners. In an 0-1 count, big cut and a miss from Kornhurst. And now it's 0-2.
Ahead 0-2, go after him right here. Van Valkenburg needs to find a way to K Kornhurst in this situation, and he can't bounce it either. Robinson at third is good speed.
Has a wild pitch already in this inning. Kennedy goes to second. Just getting a piece on the pitch is Kornhurst. We'll do it again at 0-2. Stallions are coming to play here tonight against the Outlaws. They've won 15 in a row against Oneonta coming into this game. Looking to continue that and be one game shy of clinching the 2 seed in the PGCBL East. 0-2, flied into right. Coming over to make the play is Medina. Tagging from third is Robinson, and the Outlaws are on the board. It's 4-1.
Productive out from Kornhurst, and with the sac fly, it was imperative for Oneonta to get on the board here in the second inning. It was a little bit like last night for the Ponies, where they trailed 5-1 after the third inning. The Outlaws almost fell behind by the same score.
Ten-hole hitter Owen Burnsworth in the box now. Swings at the first pitch from Van Valkenburg. Fouled back to the screen, 0-1. Oh, one pitch. Nub to the right side, foul. Van Valkenburg looking for 2 innings of 1-run ball. A lot of guys who haven't seen some action in a few days set to pitch for the Stallions tonight. Could see the likes of Anthony Umhe, Marciano Neglia, Reese Brammer, Greg Bruno, to list a few. The 0-2. Van Valkenburg tried to get the swing and miss with the off-speed slider going across. Can't get it. 1 ball, 2 strike count.
It's been a lot of off days for the Stallions here in this last week's worth of time. only 4 games during the last 7 calendar days.
The 0-2 popped up to Fish on the left side. He moves in, makes the play, and that'll end it here in the bottom of the second. But the Outlaws get one back. It's a 4-1 ball game going to the third.
4-1 Saugerties. The Outlaws will be back at home Monday night at 7 p.m. versus the Amsterdam Mohawks on Mental Health Awareness.
Welcome back to Oneonta, bottom of the third. Dan Shalom with you alongside Nick Zuppi. Stallions finally stifled on offense for the first time here tonight. A 0, but they did get Casey Comiskey over to third. Jace Van Valkenburg is out there for his third inning of work, and Nick, outside of that last inning where he allowed one run to come across, it's been pretty solid out of Jace so far.
And this is a guy who hasn't really pitched in about a week either. So to come out of the bullpen, not really your freshest self. Haven't seen game action in about a week for a guy who's been a staple of the Stallions bullpen all year. He was the only pitcher named to the All-Star team for the Eastern Conference of the Stallion staff.
And that was when Van Valkenburg had not let up an earned run, was on a magical start to the season. 6 appearances for him, where he had a 0 ERA. We'll have to face the top of the order here in the third. His second time through tonight.
Number 47,
Kazuhara stepping in. And Kaz started this game with a leadoff single on the very first pitch he saw. Both of these offenses, JBZ swinging at the first pitch for a single. Uhara did the same thing in the bottom half. Van Valkenburg set at the belt. Here's the pitch. Tried to go to the breaker. Can't pull it down. Misses at the top of the zone. 1-0. This would be a crucial win for the Stallions if the result holds. Would cut their number to just 1 game left to clinch the second seed in the East. Ground ball to the right side. Comiskey makes a nice play across his body, and there's 1 down.
The shortstop representing Eastern Connecticut State, number 5, Matt Carrera.
3 straight outs for Van Valkenburg. Matt Carrera steps in. He had the second hit of this game for the Outlaws in the bottom of the first. The lone run of this game being Zachary Robinson, who was brought home by Hugo Kornhurst's sac fly. Seems like Van Valkenburg's been going to his off-speed a lot at the top of the zone tonight compared to his cutter. 1-0. Tried to go with the cutter there. It runs inside. 2-0.
And to start Carrera and Uhara off with breaking balls here in the inning, it makes perfect sense because those 2 guys both singled off the cutter in the first inning of this ballgame.
Three straight balls here to Matt Carrera to start the AB. Van Valkenburg fires. The cutter clips the outside part. 3-1. Jace with just 1 walk issued here tonight. That was to Jaden Kennedy last inning. 3-1 pitch, cut on and missed by Carrera, and Van Valkenburg has worked himself back into the count after being down 3-0.
He had a similar at-bat with Cole Waterman back in the first inning, who's going to hit in this inning as well, where he was down 3-0 and came back to strike him out.
The 3-2 is fouled off to the right side. Van Valkenburg also with just 1 strikeout tonight, which came on the cleanup man, Cole Waterman. Payoff. Chopped over to the right side. Passo moves over, steps on the bag. 2 outs on 2 ground outs to the right part of the infield. Here in the bottom of the third.
Van Valkenburg giving the Stallions length here already through 2 2/3 of just 1-run ball. You got to be happy if you're head coach Colin Martin.
And you want to talk about a guy who gave the Stallions length last night. It was Dan Galliff. Came into the game after Matt Murtaugh and Charles Batista let up 8 earned runs combined, and Galliff threw 4 1/3, giving up just 2 hits and no runs. Definitely a guy that the Stallions are going to want to circle here as they near the playoffs. A solid arm that proved himself against the top team in the league.
He hadn't faced the Mohawks before, and maybe that was to his benefit because they were just in between on their timing all night against the Franklin and Marshall product.
Zach Porter flies a ball into right field. Medina is under it. and he makes the play. It's a 1-2-3, bottom of the third for Jace Van Valkenburg. The lead stays at 3 for Saugerties going to the fourth.
Field 4-1, Saugerties. We'd like to take a moment to recognize all
Top of the fourth inning, Nick Zuppi alongside Dan Shalom. Jace Van Valkenburg threw a scoreless 1-2-3 inning in the bottom half of the third against the top of the Outlaw order. It's the bottom of the order for the Ponies here in the top of the fourth. Anthony Lino leads things off against Martin Thorsland. Through the first 3 innings on offense, the Stallions have mustered across 4 runs on 6 hits, but they've left a runner on in each inning. The 1-0 from Thorsland misses outside, 2-0. Lino in his first at-bat hit a ground ball to third back in the second inning. That's his only at-bat of the ball game. But it's really been the top of the order for the Ponies here today. Z, Medina, and Paso, 1, 2, 3 in the lineup, all have not made an out yet in this ball game, and all have scored a run, and 2 of those 3 have driven in a run as well, accounting for all 4 of the runs for the Stallions here today. It's now 3-0 on Lino.
And it's just an improvement from last night where they couldn't bring runners home. They still have left a runner on base in every inning, but have cashed in enough to have 4 runs already on the board.
The wind, the kick, the pitch from Thorsland misses outside, ball 4. It's a 4-pitch walk to the high point product, Anthony Lino, to start things off in the 4th inning. Bringing up the number 10 hitter in the Stallions lineup, Griffin Crane.
Nice discipline there by Lino. Didn't get a pitch to hit, just takes the walk. And now tees up Crane to do something here for Saugerties.
Griffin Crane steps in now, hitting from the lefty batter's box against the righty Martin Thorsland. Anthony Lino over at first. The kick and the pitch misses upstairs, ball 1. 5 in a row missed from Thorsland, and the catcher Wirtz is going to go out and have a conversation as a result of that. Griffin Crane here today, 0 for 1. He had a ground ball to short back in the second inning. After Lino and Crane both grounded out, the Stallions would then score a run. Jamie Z had a double with 2 outs, and Adonis Medina scored him with a single of his own up the middle. Medina actually stole a base in that inning as well. That's 2 on the ball game for him.
And the Stallions did not steal a single base last night. And Nick, when you look back at what's been the recipe to success for the Stallions against the Mohawks, they're always very active on the base paths, but that just wasn't the case last night.
The 1-0 from Thorsland. There's strike 1 of the inning on pitch number 6. Count now moves to 1-1 on Crane. And this is a guy, Dan, who's still really trying to find it. He didn't see any playing time at Louisville this past spring for the Cardinals, hitting just above 225 in his first 11 games as a Stallion, and swings and misses here for strike 2. Crane was not in the lineup last night. The Stallions here changing up their lineup from game to game. The hitters tonight, 7, 8, 9, 10, all were not in the lineup. Baker, Fitzsimmons, Lino, and Crane are those 4 hitters. The 1-2 pitch from Thorsland, swing and a miss, 4 strike 3. Crane goes down swinging for the first out here in the 4th.
Just not a great at-bat out of Griffin Crane. Didn't really put up too much of a fight, and for Thorsland, that's a big morale boost after 5 straight balls to start this inning.
And it's the first strikeout for Thorsland as well. This is a guy coming into today. He had 28 strikeouts and 32 2/3 pitched against every other team in the PGCBL. Picks up number 1 here in the 4th. Jamie Z steps in. He takes outside 1-0, and Z's had a big day. 2 hits in this one, 2 runs scored, a single in the first and a double in the second. 3rd game back from injury, Dan. This is a guy who's really starting to get going.
Just what you want to see if you're the Stallions. You really can't be asking for much more right now out of Jamie Z. He's settling in very nice after a couple of games where he was struggling.
Lino reads the ball in the dirt, and he takes second base as a result of it. Wirtz's throw goes into the outfield, but Anthony Lino slides in safely at second base. Now the Ponies have had a runner in scoring position in 3 of their first 4 innings on offense against the Oneonta Outlaws. Top of the order for the Stallions. Z's in the leadoff spot tonight after hitting 7th last night against the Amsterdam Mohawks, where he had a decent game, was 1 for 3 with a RBI single in the 7th, now in a 2-1 count against Thorsland. The kick and the pitch from the right-hander from Oneonta is fouled to the screen behind home plate. Count now moves at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out here in the top of the 4th inning. Anthony Lino led things off with a 4-pitch walk and then recently advanced on the ball in the dirt to second base. Thorsland Cade Crane, the batter before Z for the first out of the inning. And the Stallions are looking for more. They've scored in 2 of their first 3 innings on offense, and it's a perfect run-scoring opportunity with Lino over at second. The 2-2 pitch gets behind Wirtz behind the plate, allowing Lino to hit third, and he's going to take a big turn over there, but eventually put the brakes on, and third base coach Ron Kelder says, "Come back, Mr. High Point," as he does and hits third. But regardless, Jamie Z now has a run 90 feet away. That would be RBI number 24 for him this season in his 24th game as a Pony.
And he just wants to pick up where he left off. His last at-bat last night was an RBI single for the Stallions, and really a stretch where he didn't have much offensive prowess, and this could really be the pick-me-up game for Jamie Z.
The kick and the pitch from Thorsland, breaking ball in the outside corner, just misses. 4-4. Z takes the free pass. He's now on base in all 3 plate appearances, a walk here in the 4th and 2 hits prior. Sets up Adonis Medina, who also has 2 hits in this ball game. Singled and scored in the first to go along with a stolen base, and then 1 inning later, he drove in Z with an RBI single up the middle and stole a base in that inning as well. Medina is now up to 6 stolen bases on the season, and this being game number 6 as a Pony here in the summer of 2025, but he's hitting with runners on the corners. Z goes from first, throw all the way down from Wirtz, goes into the outfield. Anthony Lino will come home to score as a result of the error from the catcher. It's now 5-1 Ponies.
Lucky break for the Stallions. They'll take it all day long. Wirtz just skying it over, and you know that Lino is ready to go. He didn't originally go, and if the throw had been online, you had a chance there at Jamie Z, but the Stallions, Nick, are really getting back to what's been working for them most of the season, stealing bags and forcing errors.
First error of the night for either team comes here in the top of the 4th from the catcher Ian Wirtz, and here goes Z once more. He will hit third and head for home. Jamie Z's throw, the flip from Wirtz is not in time. Z scores from second on a pass ball. It's now 6-1 Ponies.
Oh, Jamie Z taking full advantage. And that's just great discipline right there. Thorsland was set up and ready to nab him at home. But Z just did a great job sliding in there safely. He beats the tag, and the Stallions are really starting to open this game here in the top of the 4th.
After an 0-for-7 stretch coming off a week's worth of games where he missed, Z's responded in a big way. An RBI single last night against the Mohawks, and now 3 runs scored here today on 2 hits and a walk. Medina flies that one to the screen. It's now 1-1 against Thorsland with only one out still here in the top of the fourth inning. Ponies have already played it 2. But Dan, going back to Z, it looks like Z's going back to the form he once was.
Can't ask for much more. 2 for 2.
Medina puts one in play. It's a high pop over to the right side. First baseman Waterman's camped underneath it in foul ground, and he makes the play for out number 2 here in the fourth. Dylan Passo now steps in for his third plate appearance, and in this one, he's yet to be retired either. An RBI single in the first that scored Z, and a walk in the second inning. Passo also came around to score in that first inning on an RBI ground out from Casey Comiskey. He takes outside from Thorsland. It's now 1-0. Martin Thorsland here today through 3 2/3 for the Outlaws. 6 runs on 6 hits. After 5 innings of just 2 earned against the top-seeded Amsterdam Mohawks, he fires in a strike 1-1. The Mohawks last night did clinch the number 1 overall seed in the PGCBL East. Their records currently stands at 29-8-2. They did that feat for the 13th consecutive year. Thorsland doesn't know where he missed, though. With that breaking ball, it's 2-1.
Seemed like that one was in the zone, but misses somewhere.
Nobody on, 2 outs. The line that kicked the pitch from Thorsland is a line drive out into center field. Uhara has it tracked. He makes the play for out number 3 in the inning. But after the Ponies scratch across 2 runs, Anthony Lino walked and came around to score on an error from Wirtz, and Jamie Z walked and scored from second on a pass ball after the flip from Wirtz was not in time. 6-1 Ponies, bottom half of the fourth coming up from Damaski.
Another exciting in-game activity.
Second. Now it's a Dallas Hot Wieners call to the bullpen. John Ryder comes in for his first appearance since July 10th against the Amsterdam Mohawks. It's been exactly 2 weeks' time since Ryder last towed the slab in that outing against the Mohawks. 2/3 of an inning scoreless up at Shuttleworth Park in what was Game 2 of the doubleheader. He misses low. 1-0 on Cole Waterman, leading things off for the Outlaws. Here today, Waterman was Van Valkenburg's lone strikeout of the ballgame. That came back in the first inning. The first baseman hitting for the second time here in the fourth. The kick and the pitch from Ryder misses, in there. 4-1 in the outside corner, 1-1 on Waterman.
Well, this is going to be interesting to see how John Ryder fares. It's been a while, like you said, Nick, since he last pitched. and doesn't have a whole lot of action so far this season. It's already a 6-1 game, so really a time here for him to stretch things out.
The Stallions are going with a lot of guys who haven't pitched recently. Ryder, Marciano Negli is slated to go. It's been about 8 days since Van Valkenburg last threw. A lot of fresh arms for the Ponies here tonight against the Oneonta Outlaws, for a team last night that only had to use 3 pitchers in their loss to the Amsterdam Mohawks. Matt Murtaugh went the first 3. Charles Batista went an inning and 2/3 in relief of Murtaugh, and then Dan Galliff got the final 5 1/3 innings. Really, Dan, Galliff saved the Stallions pitching staff last night.
Did a great job preserving arms. The playoffs are right on the horizon right now, so the Stallions don't want to burn people and really have a full, healthy staff ready to go. Rested staff.
Ryder misses inside. Count now is full on Cole Waterman. John Ryder has struggled with the walk this season. 12 base on balls in 5 2/3 innings pitched in the summer of 2025. The Binghamton product, when he does find the strike zone, he's been elite. 7 strikeouts in that time, as well as a Stallion. The kick and the pitch from him, and it's in there. 4 strike 3. Gets Waterman looking on the breaking ball. 1 out in the 4th. Second strikeout of the ball game for Waterman, and he's the only player on either team to strike out here today. No Stallion has struck out through their first 4 innings on offense. Waterman went down swinging in the first and now looking in the 4th. Brings up the left fielder Dane Richards, who ended the first inning when there were 2 runners on. One of those was in scoring position with an unassisted ground ball to the third baseman Fish after he stepped on the bag, but flies a foul ball out of play here for strike 1.
Just what you want to see out of Ryder after a long time not pitching. Gets the first batter, went into the full count, but most importantly gets the K.
Ryder bounces the fastball. Count now moves to 1-1 on Richards. And Richards in the batter's box has really been one of the most consistent hitters for the Outlaws. They haven't had too many good hitters this season in the PGCBL, but Richards has been one of them. He's played in 34 of the 37 Outlaws games and supports a .284 batting average, 31 hits, and 109 at-bats coming into today. Ryder misses upstairs with the fastball. It's 2-1. Outlaws as a whole have won 4 of their last 5 with a run differential of +8. 36 runs scored, 28 runs against, but it's been the offense that's really catapulted them to these victories. They had a season-high 13 hits against the Glens Falls Dragons last Monday in their 14-10 victory up at East Field. 5-pitch walk to Richards from Ryder. First walk of the ball game for Ryder after Van Valkenburg only had 1 base on balls, and his 3 innings of work allows Richards to reach base.
And that fastball just missed on the outside part of the plate. You can't be too upset with that one if you're John Ryder.
Ian Wirtz now steps in, the catcher for the Outlaws, hitting 6th in the lineup. And this is another guy who's been a staple for the Outlaws. He joined about since a week after the season started. He's played and started in 26 games for the Outlaws, just under .260 batting average coming into today. This being game number 27, he started it with a ground ball to short in the 2nd inning against Jace Van Valkenburg. Ryder misses low in the dirt. It's 2-0. Baker got out of his crouch. Looked like he was going to check on Richards over at first, but didn't gather control.
Did you see that pick right there from George Baker? That was nasty. Had a little bit of trouble with the transition into his throwing hand, but a great job there just making sure it doesn't get by him behind the dish.
Baker is one of 4 catchers on this Stallions team. Cam Carroll was the backstop last night against the Amsterdam Mohawks. Anthony Lino in the lineup tonight as the extra hitter. He's caught some games. As this one gets past Baker, allows Richards to advance 90 feet to second base. Logan Sanchez also in the lineup as a designated hitter. We've seen him catch some games for the Ponies. But Baker, he's got the best arm of them all. Big backstop, standing just about 6'4". He can really let it go.
And that one there is just an unfortunate break. John Ryder spiked the pitch the past couple here. He's struggling with his control.
In a 3-0 count against Ian Wirtz, Dane Richards now stands on second base after he reached base by way of the walk 5 pitches ago. 4-pitch walk to Wirtz, and that will set up an RBI opportunity with runners on second and first for Zachary Robinson, who had a loud swing his last time up, a double against Jace Van Valkenburg. He would come around to score a run in that inning as well, the only run for the Outlaws to this point in the ball game. But Dan, we alluded to it earlier on in the inning. John Ryder, when he loses command of the strike zone, he really does back-to-back walks, only 1 strike, 8 balls. Kicking the pitch to Robinson. That's now 9 misses in his last 10. 1-0 to Robinson.
And it's kind of similar to Charles Batista last night for the Stallions. Came into the game in the 4th, issued a couple of walks. Amsterdam cashed in with the run, and then the very next inning would throw 4 base on balls. Stallions have an arm going in the pen.
Runners go. Baker's throw down to third. Fish catches, applies the tag. Not in time. It's a double steal from Richards and Wirtz. Runners now stand on third base and second base. Wirtz on second, Richards on third. First 2 stolen bases of the ball game for the Outlaws, for a team coming into today that's 7th in the PGCBL. They're about average compared to the other squads in this league, but they're a bottom third offense, 14th in batting average and 15th in slug. In this 2025 summer season in the PGCBL, Riders now ahead 1-2 on Robinson after being behind 1-0.
This would be a big strikeout right here. If you're John Ryder, came into this game and Cade Cole Waterman, but now dealing with a world of hurt here with second and third and 1 down.
Robinson had a home run last night for the Oneonta Outlaws. It was his first since 2023, which was his high school senior season. That came in the state quarterfinal game for Robinson. Swing must have felt good.
Certainly, and a home run here would make this just a 2-run ball game.
He had a double in his first AB off Van Valkenburg and a 2-ball, 2-strike count now against Ryder. 2 runners on, the breaking ball misses outside. Count goes full, and Ryder's 1 ball away from walking the bases loaded.
Not what you want to do here if you're the Stallions and you got Jaden Kennedy waiting on deck, who walked in his first at-bat. Definitely a guy who's not going to chase outside the zone. Van
Valkenburg only had 1 free pass in his 3 innings of work. The 3-2 from Ryder is a swing and a miss, 4-strike 3. He K's Robinson swinging, second strikeout of the inning and second out as well. Big strikeout for Ryder, now 2 outs.
That's a huge one right there, not just big. And now you can go to first, get out of this inning easily. The biggest thing here for Ryder is that everything's been on him in this inning. A strikeout, a couple of walks, and another strikeout. A ball still hasn't been put into play here in the 4th.
Waterman started. He struck out looking. Back-to-back walks to Richards and Wirtz. Robinson just struck out swinging. And Jaden Kennedy is starting in a 1-0 count after Ryder misses in the dirt. Nice block from Baker behind the dish to keep it in front of him. Dan Richards over at third has good speed, so a pass ball that gets by Baker is most likely a run for the Outlaws, who would be their second of the ball game. To this point, they only have 3 hits. 2 of them came in the first. Kazuhara and Matt Carrera started the ball game off with back-to-back singles, but Van Valkenburg limited the Outlaws in that inning, got 3 straight outs. Porter flew out to center. Waterman struck out swinging, and Dane Richards hit into a fielder's choice. Brendan Fish made the play over at third and stepped on the bag for out number 3 in the first inning. Outlaws did score in the second when Robinson started things off with a double. Big breaking ball from Ryder, misses upstairs. It's now 2-1.
And he's just struggling to find it with the off speed. He's been great with his fastball. That's where he's gotten both swing and misses in this inning. I would just go back to it if I was him. Once again, there's been no balls in play here in the bottom of the 4th.
Kicking the pitch from Ryder, misses upstairs. It goes off the glove of Baker. Baker fields, dives towards the plate, and he is safe. Dane Richards just beats the diving Baker at the plate. It's now 6-2 Outlaws with Richards shaken up.
That was a crazy play at home plate. Baker nearly got there in time. Richards has got a lot of speed over there at third. But for the Stallions and Ryder, that's just a product of how wild he's been in this inning. Has been spiking a lot of balls, certainly hasn't made it easy, and Baker is still taking a second. Seems like he got some dirt stuck in his eyes.
big cloud of dirt just went everywhere at home plate. Baker had to field the ball pretty much off the wall like a center fielder would, if you will. A fortuitous bounce for him. He tried to dive and tag Richards. Great play from Baker, just not in time. Got to give Baker a lot of credit to try and get out number 3 and help out his pitcher here in the 4th.
And that was very similar to a play earlier this season for the Stallions, where they actually won 10-9 at Amsterdam. Logan Sanchez fielded a ball straight off of the backstop and ended up tagging out the runner to give the Stallions a win in 10 innings, and Baker still being attended to over there near the Stallions dugout. They just want to get some water in his eyes. It seems like that dirt is really annoying him.
When play resumes, there will be a runner at third and 2 outs, that being Ian Wirtz, after Dane Richards just came across to score on the pass ball. That has given Baker some trouble. Got a little dirt in his eye, taking a quick sip of water. Looks like he's about ready to go and get back into his squat behind home plate, and here he is walking back to the plate. Look at him, Dan. He's got dirt rubbed all over him. Got to give him credit on that last play.
He's staying in there. He's a trooper. And what an effort that was from him behind the dish to try and get that out.
Ryder will get a free warm-up pitch. Huge cloud of dust goes off Baker's glove as he makes the play.
He's going to need a shower after this game. Pretty dirty after that one.
It's now 3 balls and 1 strike on the third baseman, Jaden Kennedy, after what was about 3-minute delay after Baker tried to nab Richards at home plate on the diving tag. But regardless, the kick and the pitch from Ryder is a big swing and a miss. 4 strike 2. Full count now on Kennedy.
They just went back to the fastball. Came in there at 88 miles per hour. These Outlaws hitters just haven't kept up with it so far. You got to go back to it here in the full count.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Ian Wirtz over at third. Outlaws have already plated a run in the inning, and Kennedy fouls this one off back to the screen, so we'll do it at exactly that count. 3-2, 2 outs. Wirtz over at third. John Ryder 1 strike away from striking out the side, but he did allow a run to come across. The Outlaws have not put a ball in play in this half inning as well. 2 walks to Richards and Wirtz is how they reached base in this one. Three-two pitch, once more fouled off to the screen behind home plate. This will be pitch number 9 coming up from Ryder to Kennedy here in this AB. And Ryder has really had to work here in this one. Thrown a lot of pitches here in the bottom of the 4th inning after Van Valkenburg threw the first 3. Really didn't have to throw any pressure pitches. The kick and the pitch, swing and a miss, 4 strike 3. Ryder strikes out the side, gets Waterman looking, and Robinson and Kennedy swinging. But the Outlaws do plate a run in the 4th on a pass ball. Dane Richards comes around to score. 6-2 Stallions going to the 5th.
6-2 Saugerties after 4. Want to help make a difference tonight? Donate.
4-5-6 for the Ponies here in the top of the fifth inning. Logan Sanchez steps in against a new arm for the Oneonta Outlaws. Starting pitcher Martin Thorsland's night is done. He went their first 4 innings, allowed 6 runs on 6 hits. One of those was unearned, so 5 earned runs total for the right-hander of Oneonta. Did have 4 walks to go along with it as well, and no strikeouts for Thorsland. Matt Prostanek coming in for Oneonta, only making his second appearance of the summer here in 2025 for the Outlaws. First pitch to Sanchez is in there for strike 1. Prostanek here this summer pitched last against the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs in the 6-2 victory for the Outlaws back on July 19th, where he went 4 innings out of the bullpen, misses outside 1-1 in that game against the Diamond Dogs, gave up 1 earned run in his 4 innings of work on 3 hits, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout as well. But he got credited with the victory out in relief. 1-0 record for Prostanek this summer in the PGCBL in only 1 appearance. It's now 1-2 on Sanchez.
Doing a nice job out of the pen so far, and the Outlaws are really just looking for some stability. Giving up a run in every inning but the third.
The 1-2 pitch is lined down the left field line, just foul. We'll do it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sanchez has been up twice. He walked in the first against Thorsland, 1 of 4 that Martin Thorsland issued here today. And then he ended the second inning with a ground ball over to the second baseman, Robinson. 0 for 1 for Sanchez here today. The 1-2 pitch is nubbed off his calf. It will be a foul ball for strike 2.
He just got a piece of that one. Lucky for him, because he would have been out, and Sanchez has been struggling at the plate a little bit. 0 for his last 6.
Sanchez went 0 for 5 last night against the Amsterdam Mohawks. 3 of those plate appearances came with a runner on base, but lines a single here to start off the top of the 5th inning against Prostanek.
Well, there you go. That's going to break that streak for Logan Sanchez, and got to feel good. Had a few hard-hit balls last night against the Mohawks, but nothing got down, and finally he breaks through.
His most notable AB last night was when the bases were loaded in the 4th. He had a line drive to the shortstop, Chris Holcraft. He made a diving play to rob Sanchez of a hit and potentially 2 RBIs as well. Regardless, he's on first, and Brandon Fish steps in, who lines one into the right center gap. Sanchez has to freeze, and the dive from Uhara, it gets past him and rolls all the way to the wall. Fish hits second. Sanchez hits third. He gets the windmill. Coming around to score is Logan Sanchez standing up, and Brandon Fish is standing on third as well. 7-2 Ponies on Brandon Fish's first extra base hit here in the summer of 2025.
And that's the Brandon Fish that the Stallions know so well. Smashed that ball into deep right center field, and there was no doubt that one was going to get down. A good effort there in the outfield by Uhara. But just what Fish needed, came into this game with a 118 average so far this season. 2
hits in his first 17 at-bats here today. He's 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. He only had 1 run batted in coming into today, but Casey Comiskey steps in. It's now 1-0 against Prostanek. He's faced 2 Stallions. They both have hits, and the Ponies have plated a run here in the inning as well. The wind, the kick, and the pitch from the right-hander is nubbed in play. The third baseman, Kennedy, fields across the diamond, out number 1 here in the 5th inning.
And this is kind of the situational baseball that head coach Colin Martin talked about. You have a runner at third with nobody out. Someone's got to bring it home. That wasn't a bad swing there from Comiskey. Grounds the ball over to third base. Now George Baker, who's hit a couple hard balls tonight, has got to bring Comiskey home.
Baker had a home run foul in his first at-bat. There was a lot of confusion between the home plate umpire and the field umpire whether it was foul or fair. But it had plenty of distance, ultimately called it foul. Baker steps in for his third plate appearance and takes strike 1 on the outside corner. In that first plate appearance, after homering foul, he hit a ground ball over to second for a fielder's choice. That's Sanchez. Was gunned down at the plate, trying to come across to score. Flies this one in play over to right field. Burnsworth coming in near the line. It will land fair for a base hit. He will pick up an RBI as well as Fish comes in to score. Run number 8 for the Ponies here in the 5th, and run number 2 of the inning.
That was just a soft pop-up into shallow right. It was a hard play for Burnsworth. He couldn't get there, and Baker will take that all day long.
Number 29 from St. John still in fifth.
Burnsworth over there in right and Robinson at second. Both were near the baseball. They froze. I thought it was foul because of that freeze. But regardless, Baker picks up an RBI knock here in the 5th inning. Baker now is in double digits in the runs batted in category. He has 10 in game number 14 as a pony. Dylan Fitzsimmons steps in. 0-1 against Prostopanek. Here today, Fitzsimmons is 0 for 2, 2 ground outs to second base, and both of those ended the inning as well. 1 in the 1st and 1 in the 3rd. The 1-0 from Prostopanek is in there on the outside corner for strike 2. Fitzsimmons is a guy who's been pretty clutch when the Stallions have needed it. He had a homer up at Glens Falls, his first of the season and an only homer for him. He had a walk-off RBI single back against at home a couple games ago where he tied it in the 8th and won it in the 10th and lines this one down the right field line. Birdsworth take a look, and it will be fair. Baker hits second and will go for third. Fitzsimmons has to take a long stop, and he's pleading for the head third base coach Ron Kelder to give Baker the green light, but because of that, he will stop at second base. It's a double for Fitzsimmons, second extra base hit of the inning.
Stallions are smashing the ball here in the 5th. That's their 4th hit overall of the inning. They've now hit 10 in that category, and a real chance to blow this game open now, 2nd and 3rd with 1 down.
4th extra base hit for Fitzsimmons this season. That's his 3rd double to go along with the home run against Glens Falls. 8-2 Ponies. Outlaws bring the infield in here, down by 6 with Anthony Lino stepping up to the dish. He hit last inning and scored one of the 2 runs as well, a 4-pitch walk from Thorsland. In that inning is how he reached. First pitch from Prostopanek now in there for strike 1 on the High Point product.
It's been a rude awakening here for Prostopanek, just his 2nd appearance, and he is getting hit around here to start things in the 5th.
In his first one, he only allowed 1 earned run across 4 innings against the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs, where he did get the win as well here today. Different story against the Stallions. Misses on the outside corner, 1-1 to Lino. And this is a guy who was not in the lineup last night, and it's been a while since Anthony Lino has played for the Ponies. The last time he played was back on July 18th against the Utica Blue Sox at home, where the Stallions walked it off 4-3 on a Dylan Fitzsimmons RBI single, and he knocks in George Baker here in the inning. Dylan Fitzsimmons gets the wave as well. Throw cut off by Kennedy. 2 RBI single from Lino. It's 10-2 Ponies.
Pouring it on. Just what you want if you're Anthony Lino. He's been struggling at the plate. Stallions are hitting the ball hard. Here in the 4th, it's a 4 spot for them.
The center fielder from the University of Louisville, number 18, Griffin.
4 runs on 4 hits. Logan Sanchez had a single. Brandon Fish an RBI triple. George Baker an RBI single that scored Fish. Fitzsimmons with a double, and Lino drives in Baker and Fitzsimmons with a 2 RBI single just over the glove of Kennedy over at 3rd. Brings up Griffin Crane to bat here in the 5th, with the Stallions now taking control of this game. It's 10-2.
And that's the 2nd error of this inning. They stuck an error on Burnsworth on that weak fly ball from Crane, or from his teammate Baker. So errors have been a problem here for Oneonta.
Griffin Crane steps in a 1-0 count against Prostopanek. Stallions now have 10 hits on the ball game, back-to-back nights for them, where they're in the double digits in the hit column. They had 11 last night against the Amsterdam Mohawks, but the story for them was runners left on base, 17 in their 9 innings of work on offense last night against the PGCBL East number 1 overall seed Amsterdam Mohawks, who did clinch last night at Cantine.
And that's been the difference. They're driving runners home here tonight. Stallions could have had 10 runs on the board yesterday as well.
Prostopanek misses way over the head of the catcher, Wirtz. 2-1 count now on Crane here in the inning.
No action out there in the Oneonta bullpen. They're going to let Prostopanek ride this one out.
Stallions now have gone through the order 3 whole times through the first 5 innings on offense. They're hitting 10. Crane is hitter number 10. This is his 3rd plate appearance. He's now in a 3-1 count. Grounded out to short in the 2nd. Struck out swinging in the 4th. And now batting here in the 5th. Anthony Lino over at first. 3-1 pitch from Prostopanek. Misses low in the dirt. Ball 4. brings up the top of the order for the Ponies. Jamie Z steps in, and he's had a big night so far. He scored 3 runs. He has 2 hits. One of them was for extra bases in the second inning. Stole 2 bases as well, but the highlight play for him here today was when he scored from second on a pass ball.
It's time for him to keep it rolling here. You know, Prostopnik's not throwing his best stuff. Take advantage.
The kick and the pitch from the right-hander misses outside. 1-0, now 5 straight misses from Prostopnik. Z in a 1-0 count. 2 for 2 with a walk comes into today with a batting average of .253. This only being his 3rd game back from injury. Missed about a week's worth of time. The 1-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss. 4 strike 1 as he goes chasing in the dirt, trying to add 3 runs on 1 swing.
Just being a little bit too ambitious there. Nothing wrong with that, given that it's already an 8-run ball game.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Anthony Lino over at second. Griffin Crane over at first. The kick and the pitch from Prostopnik is lined over to the second baseman, Robinson. He will go to second. Nice play to get the force out with Crane trying to get there, but it's an out regardless. 2 outs, runners on the corners for Adonis Medina.
That was solid contact right there from Z. Just got hit to an unfortunate spot. Flared a ball over to second, but the Stallions stay out of the double play and can still add more.
Medina steps in, and he's had a busy night so far as well. 2 singles, 1 in the first, 1 in the second. Scored a run in the first after he stole second base as well. And going over to the second inning, his single in that inning drove in Jamie Z, and he stole second as well. 2 stolen bases, 2 singles, and an RBI with a run scored for Medina. Steps in and for his 4th plate appearance here today. Swings and misses, 4 strike 1. The other time he was up was in the 4th inning after he popped out in foul territory to the first baseman, Waterman. Z over at first, Lino over at third. 2 outs, Ponies have already scored 4 in the inning. There goes Z from first, big breaking ball, and Wirtz has no choice but to let Z take second without a throw. 1 ball, 1 strike. The 0-2 pitch from Prostopnik. Fastball that just misses on the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Medina has come into the Stallions, this only being game number 6, and he's been doing a great job of providing a spark offensively. 2 extra base hits, a home run, and a double to go along with 4 RBIs, and now 6 stolen bases as well. The 1-2 pitch misses low in the dirt. 2-2 on Medina. Prostopnik started the inning in relief of Martin Thorsland. He came in facing Logan Sanchez, who hits 4th in the lineup. He's in the hole. If he were to come up again, Dylan Paso is on deck. With Adonis Medina in the batter's box. The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, 4 strike 3. Prostopnik K's Medina to end the 5th inning, but not before the Ponies scratch across 4 runs on 4 hits. 2 of those 4 extra bases. 10-2 Ponies going to the bottom half of the 5th when we come back.
Tonight's participants, Hugo Conhorst and Pat
10-2 Ponies. They played 4 runs in the top half of the 4th inning on 4 hits, 2 of those for extra bases. Brandon Fish had an RBI triple. Dylan Fitzsimmons has a double in the inning as well. But now on the defensive side of things, they make a pitching change. Second change of the ball game. John Ryder pitched the 4th in relief of Jace Van Valkenburg, who started with the first 3. Ryder, last inning in the 4th, allowed 1 earned run. He walked 2 Outlaws and struck out 3. Reese Brammer now toeing the slab for the Ponies. He will be starting things off here in the bottom of the 5th against Hugo Conehurst. 9-10-1 due up for the Outlaws here in the inning, with Owen Burnsworth on deck and Kazuhara in the hole. Against Brammer, fires in a strike, 0-1. The kick and the pitch misses inside. It's now 1-1 on Conehurst, who here today in his lone plate appearance in the 2nd inning drove in the only run with a sac fly to the right fielder Adonis Medina that scored Zachary Robinson. The kick and the pitch is lined out into the left center gap. On the run is Crane. He can't get there. It will land in the gap, and Conehurst will stop at first for a leadoff single against Brammer.
Brammer's a guy who hasn't seen action in a long time for the Stallions, and his last 2 outings have come up at Shuttleworth Park, a very tough place to pitch for him. So just looking to bounce back, but not exactly the start he wanted here, giving up the leadoff single.
Like John Ryder, the last time he pitched was on July 10th in Game 2 of the doubleheader up at Shuttleworth Park against the Amsterdam Mohawks, where he only went a third of an inning and gave up 2 earned runs. Against the top-seeded Mohawks, fires in a big breaking ball for strike 1 against Owen Burnsworth, the right fielder. Burnsworth steps in after grounding out to third, and his last plate appearance that came in the 2nd inning. The 0-1 pitch from Brammer misses outside. 1-1. Brammer on the season as a whole has pitched 4 different times for the Ponies, 3 1/3 innings. He's given up 5 earned runs, but for Brammer, it's the walks that really hurt him. 10 walks allowed to go against 3 strikeouts. But for Brammer, he's only given up 1 hit in 3 1/3. So if he can find a way to consistently throw strikes, he's going to help himself out and do the job that the Stallions need him to do, which is put up zeros. The 2-1 pitch is thrown behind Burnsworth and gets behind Baker as well. That allows Hugo Conehurst to reach second. It's 3-1 on Burnsworth, the number 10 hitter for the Outlaws.
Brammer just out of control here a little bit, similar to that of Ryder. Just go back to what's been working best here. Don't try and force too much.
Burnsworth is one of the more recent additions for the Outlaws. The RPI product has played in 7 games coming into today, this being number 8. He swings and misses 4, strike 2 from Brammer. Southpaw for the Stallions is 1 strike away from picking up their 4th of the ball game as a whole for the pitching staff. Van Valkenburg had 1 in his 3 innings of work, and last inning Ryder had 3. The payoff pitch is popped into fair territory. The second baseman, Casey Comiskey's camped underneath it and makes the play for out number 1 here in the 5th.
Nice job by Brammer battling back after a couple of wild pitches. Forces weak contact on the infield. Has to face the top of the order here.
Kazuhara steps in. The Outlaws have now gone through the order 2 full times, as opposed to the Stallions, who've done it 3 times. Jamie Z and Adonis Medina have hit 4 times. They're the first and second batters for the Ponies here today. But Kazuhara has one of the 4 Outlaw hits. That was back in the 1st inning. He also has a ground out to the second baseman, Comiskey, as well in the 3rd. Batting for the 3rd time here in the 5th. Lays down a bunt, but pulls it back as he's almost hitting the head from Brammer. It's now 1-0.
It's going to be the test for Brammer. Hasn't pitched in a while. Top of the order here. Kazuhara and Matt Carrera both have singles already in this game.
Coming into today, you are a .293 batting average across 18 games and 18 starts for the Outlaws here in 2025. 1-0 pitch, and he's almost hitting the head again. It's now 2-0 from Brammer, and he steps out. And Dan, one of his favorite memories actually is with playing catch in the outfield with David Ortiz during the World Series when his father, Koji Uehara, the closer for that Red Sox team, would take him to the ballpark, and he got to play catch with David Ortiz and his son as well.
That was in Game 6 of the 2013 World Series against the Cardinals, all the way back.
2-0 pitch is a fastball on the outside corner for strike one. This is the third batter Brammer has faced. He allowed a single from Hugo Cohnhurst to start things off. A pop out from Burnsworth to the second baseman Comiskey. Now Uhara steps in with a runner on second, and now a 3-1 count as he takes outside against Brammer. Stallions going with a lot of arms tonight who haven't really pitched of late. The last time Brammer pitched, as we alluded to earlier, was July 10th. Same with John Ryder, and both those guys pitching here today against the last place Outlaws. 3-1 pitch from Brammer, misses outside, ball 4. First walk of the inning for the Southpaw gives the Outlaws runners on first and second with only one out.
Sets up the double play here for the Stallions. That's the only positive from that, but for Brammer, just still a little bit out of control, trying to find his stuff.
Matt Carrera steps in, the shortstop for the Outlaws here today. Just like Kaz Uhara, 1 for 2 with a single back in the first inning. Hitting for a third time in the fifth. Runners on first and second against Brammer, who desperately needs to put up a 0 after the Stallions put up a 4 spot in the top half. The kick and the pitch is a strike on the fastball for strike one here against Carrera. Carrera this season has played in 26 games for the Outlaws, hits just above 230, 19 hits and 81 ABs. Coming into today, the 0-1 from the Southpaw Brammer misses way inside, 1-1 count now. Baker behind the dish for the Ponies. It was not in the lineup last night against the Amsterdam Mohawks. Cam Carroll did the catching, and he did the catching in the game before that one as well against the Boonville Lumberjacks, where the Ponies won 5-4 on a walk-off sac fly from Dylan Passo. Mason Weaver got the final 6 outs of that ball game, where he gave up 2 hits on 2 runs. 2-1 count now against Carrera. Cohnhurst over at second. O'Hara over at first base. The 2-1 pitch from Brammer misses inside. It's now 3-1 on Carrera, who's rolling his eyes, stepping out of the batter's box in a 10-2 ball game. This is the last thing he wants to do, walk. Carrera just steps in there looking to swing.
Hasn't had anything to hit so far in this at-bat.
Brammer set at the belt. Gets the side from Baker, fires to home, and it's a 5-pitch walk to Carrera. Back-to-back walks from Uhara and Carrera. Load the bases for Zach Porter, batting third in the Oneonta Outlaw lineup here today. And with the back-to-back walks, pitching coach Practice Vigil is going to go out and talk to the Southpaw for the Ponies. Brammer's the third pitcher of the ball game. He came in for Ryder, who pitched the fourth and allowed 1 earned run after he walked 2 Outlaws but struck out 3. Van Valkenburg started and did a really nice job for the Ponies here tonight. Went the first 3 innings, only allowed 1 earned run in the second inning to go along with a walk and a strikeout of Cole Waterman as well. Quick mound visit from Vigil. Baker out on the mound to talk to Brammer. Just calm him down in a 10-2 ball game. He has plenty of run support to work with, just needs to find a way to throw strikes.
Exactly that, Nick. He's only given up 1 hit so far in this outing. That was on the first pitch to Hugo Cohnhurst. Forced weak contact to Burnsworth. A couple of walks in there, just needs to pound the zone.
Zach Porter steps in. He's the designated hitter for Oneonta. Coming into today with 13-game hitting streak. Highest on the Outlaws this season. First pitch from Brammer is foul to the screen behind home plate for strike one. In that 13-game hitting streak, Porter has had at least 2 games where he's notched at least 2 hits and 6 RBIs in his last 13 to go along with it as well. Porter's finding his footing at the right time for an Outlaws squad that's won 4 of their last 5, and one of those was a 3-2 victory up at Shuttleworth Park against the Amsterdam Mohawks. Brammer fires in a strike. That's foul tipped at the plate off Baker for strike 2.
Brammer doing exactly what he should be, just pounding the zone here. The Outlaw hitters haven't necessarily shown yet that they can beat him. So it's good for him here just to be firing in strikes.
And this is an Outlaw lineup as a whole, Dan, that's really struggled against the Ponies this season. They have 40 hits through the first 6 games against the Stallions. One of those was not completed as the Stallions were leading 4-1 at the bottom of the fourth before rain put a postpone on that game. Porter flies it in the infield. The infield fly is called, but Casey Comiskey makes the play regardless. It's out number 2 in the inning. Big out for Brammer. Porter pops out to second with the bases still loaded, and Cole Waterman steps in.
That's the same exact thing that he did against Owen Burnsworth. He's just firing his off speed, and it's working right now. Just need to keep doing the same here if you're Brammer.
Brammer now is a favorable matchup. Cole Waterman hits from the left-handed side, lefty-lefty for Brammer. He can really use that fastball to get in on him, jam Waterman at the plate, or go to his big breaking ball that goes away from Waterman. The kick and the pitch from Brammer, and there is that breaking ball going on the outside corner for strike 1. Here today, the first baseman for the Outlaws has 2 strikeouts, one swinging in the first and one looking in the fourth. Van Volkenberg got him swinging, and Ryder got him looking. A 1 pitch is put in play, and it goes off of Brammer's glove out on the mound. That will allow an Outlaw to come around to score. Hugo Cohnhurst comes across. It's now 10-3 Outlaws in the bottom of the 5th with 2 outs and the base is still loaded.
That'll be the first error of the game, just a comebacker straight to Brammer. He wasn't really expecting it, has some trouble with it, and now he lets across his first run of his outing.
For the Outlaws, number 1, Dane Richards.
Dane Richards now steps in. The left fielder for Oneonta is 0 for 1 with a walk. In this one, he scored one of the 3 Outlaw runs as well, that being back in the 4th inning. On the pass ball, that got by Baker. Brammer fires in a strike that's fouled away. Passo takes a look, and he makes the nice running play along the fence in right field for out number 3 in the inning. Reese Brammer loads the bases but gets out of it, only allowing 1 run to come across. 10-3 Ponies going to the top of the 6th.
So please get out your tickets. Not only will you win the money, but
Top of the 6th inning, 3-4-5 due up for the Ponies after the Outlaws scratch across a run in the bottom half of the 5th. Reese Brammer came in for John Ryder and allowed 1 run on 1 hit. And 1 error on the inning as well. That was charged to him out on the mound. Cole Waterman hit a comebacker that went off his glove. Regardless, Passo steps in and lines this one into the gap. Burnsworth on the run, dives, and it gets over his head and rolls all the way to the wall. Passo hits second. He goes for third and will stop there standing up. It's a leadoff or a triple for Dylan Passo to start things off here in the 6th against Matt Prostopanek.
Smacked that ball, Dylan Passo. Just a couple feet short of a home run. And that ball was piped deep into right field. Can't ask for much more out of your 3-hole hitter who's getting hot at the right time.
Passo now in this one, 2 for 3 with a walk, an RBI, and a run scored against the Outlaws. Logan Sanchez steps in for his fourth plate appearance. The wind, the kick, the pitch from Prostopanik is lie down into center field. Uhara makes the play for the out. Paso tags from third, and the Ponies add a run on 2 pitches in the top of the 6th. Paso lines a triple into the gap, and Sanchez brings him home, smacking out a sac fly to the center fielder Uhara. 11-3 Ponies.
And that's just the fundamental baseball that you want to see out of the Stallions. They get a runner into scoring position, very next swing, bring him home, and it's back to an 8-run game.
Brandon Fish steps in, who had an RBI triple the last time he was up. He takes outside 1-0 from Matt Prostopanik. Fish here today has 2 RBI hits. One came in the first inning as well when he scored Adonis Medina in the inning. That hit was 1 of 4 for the Ponies in the first, where they scratched across 3 runs as Prostopanik fires in strike. 1-1 count now with 1 out in the inning. The other plate appearance for Fish came in the third, where he hit a ground ball over to the first baseman Waterman and flipped to Thorsland covering. Prostopanik misses low in the dirt. It's now 2-1 on Fish, who's playing third base for the Ponies here today. One of the more recent additions for the Stallions here in the summer of 2025. Played for them last year, where he hit .333 across 12 games as a Stallion. The wind, the kick, the pitch misses inside. 3-1 on Fish.
Discipline at bat here. That triple by Paso was the second of the game. The Stallions, as a team so far in this one, 4 extra base hits.
Wind, the kick, the pitch. Fish flies it out into right center. Burnsworth on the run. He's camped underneath it now finally and makes the play for out number 2 in the inning. Burnsworth has been pretty busy there tonight. Fish's RBI triple was down the right field line. Paso lines one over his head for a triple. Makes the play here in the inning on Fish. 2 outs for Matt Prostopanik with Casey Comiskey stepping up to the dish, who's 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch. First pitch to Casey Comiskey is nubbed in play. Second baseman Robinson comes in. Fields fires over to first. Not in time. Comiskey beats it out. His first hit of the ballgame comes on the first pitch he sees in the AB from Prostopanik, and it's a 2-out base runner for the Ponies.
Way to leg it out right there. Comiskey didn't fully love that pitch, but he still saw that he needed to run when he put it in play, and does a nice job hustling down the line and gives George Baker a shot here in the 6th.
Baker 1 for 3 here today, an RBI single and a run scored back in the 5th. Steps in against Prostopanik now in back-to-back innings. Now down in the count, 0-1 on the fastball on the outside corner. Comiskey over at first after he dribbled a single in play, check swing, but it did the job. He's standing over there on first base. Does not steal second. Pitch misses outside. 1-1 on Baker, who in his first at-bat in the first inning reached base by way of a fielder's choice. He grounded it over to the second baseman Robinson, who came home and nabbed Sanchez at the plate trying to score from third. His other at-bat was a fly out to the center fielder Uhara in the third. The kick and the pitch from Prostopanik. Big breaking ball misses upstairs. 2-1.
Baker has had hard hit balls all around here tonight. Look for him to try and smack something here, especially in the righty-lefty matchup.
Back in his first inning, first plate appearance in the first as well, he hit a home run foul that had plenty of distance on it. Count now moves 3-1. But Dan, something we need to bring up, in the last 2 games, the Ponies have left 26 runners on base, only 2 extra base hits. Here tonight they have 4 and have only left 5 runners on base to this point in the ballgame.
That's why they got 11 runs on the board.
Baker takes upstairs. It's a 5-pitch walk to the lefty swing and catcher, bringing up Dylan Fitzsimmons with 2 outs and 2 on.
Good chance here for Fitzsimmons to once again get some RBIs. He had a double his last at-bat.
Fitzsimmons 1 for 3, 2 ground outs to second, and a double down the right field line outside of the diving Burnsworth and right. The kick and the pitch from Prostopanik. Big breaking ball misses at the top of the zone for the first pitch. 1-0 count on Fitzsimmons. He also scored in that 5th inning as well on the Anthony Lino ground ball over the third that has been changed to an error on the third baseman Jaden Kennedy. So no RBIs for Lino on that swing. The 1-0 pitch from Prostopanek misses outside 2-0. 6 straight misses for the right-hander out of the bullpen. Oneonta does not have an arm warming over there either. Prostopanek is the second pitcher for the Outlaws. Martin Thordsland got through the first 4 innings, allowing 6 runs to come across for the Ponies. Kicking the pitch, misses upstairs 3-0. Now 7 straight misses with Anthony Lino on deck.
He's laboring here in this at-bat hard. It's been hard for him really over the last 2, just hasn't had control of the zone.
2 outs, 2 runners on, 3-0 count to Dylan Fitzsimmons. Comiskey over at second, Baker over at first. The pitch is in there on the fastball, 4 strike 1. 3-1 to Dylan Fitzsimmons, who's playing left and was not in the lineup last night against the Amsterdam Mohawks. The last time he played was against the Boonville Lumberjacks back at Cantine in their 5-4 victory against the Lumberjacks, where Dylan Passo walked it off with an RBI sac fly, and he rockets this one down the right field line. If it's fair, it's gone. It is not. Dylan Fitzsimmons almost had his second home run of the season, and he got every bit of that baseball, but just has to wait a half a second and straighten it out.
Has a home run already this season down the right field line, and that's the second one for the Stallions in this game, that if they just had it a little bit more left, would have been a homer.
3-2 pitch, fastball in there, 4 strike 3. Fitzsimmons goes down looking after he thought it was going to be ball 4. But regardless, Stallions plate a run on the inning in the first 2 pitches of the inning. Passo triples and Sanchez scores him with a sac fly. It's now 11-3 Stallions going to the bottom half of the 6th.
In the past 30 years, cancer death rates have dropped significantly thanks
Bottom of the 6th inning from Damaski Field here up in Oneonta, New York. Nick Zuppi alongside Dan Shalom. Greg Bruno now toes the slab for the Stallions. It's Dallas Hot Wieners call to the bullpen in the bottom of the 6th inning. The newest Seton Hall commit now toeing the slab for what is going to be his 10th appearance of the summer here in 2025. 18 2/3 innings pitched for him, a 4.8 ERA out of the bullpen. But Dan, the last time he pitched, he was money. 3 innings. He got the final 3 innings against the Utica Blue Sox in the 4-3 victory for the Ponies at Cantine. And the only run he allowed was unearned in the 10th, since in extras in the PGCBL, there's a runner on second base.
He did a great job, and the Stallions are kind of looking for the same thing right here. If you're head coach Colin Martin, you got to think about the mercy rule, especially since we're in the 6th, with it only being 2 runs away.
He starts things off against the catcher for Oneonta, who hits 6th in the lineup, Ian Wirtz, with a strike. 0-1 count on Wirtz. To this point in the ball game, he is 0 for 1 with a walk and a stolen base here today. Up for the third time in the sixth inning. The 0-1 pitch from Bruno is fouled out of play for strike two here at Damaski Field on this cool, crisp summer night on mid-late July here in the summer of 2025 in Oneonta, New York. Bruno toeing the slab in relief of Reese Brammer, who pitched the fifth inning, gave up one unearned run to go along with 2 walks and no strikeouts on 1 hit. Fourth Stallions pitcher of the night is the right-hander going to Seton Hall next year, Greg Bruno. The 0-2 pitch from him misses way upstairs on the fastball. 1-2 count.
Fastball tops out at about 97 for Greg Bruno. It's his best pitch. Definitely something that he's going to use here in the sixth.
Bruno set at the belt. Kicks and fires home. Breaking ball completely fools Wirtz in the batter's box. It felt like he swung at that pitch eons ago. And it's strikeout number 1 for Bruno out in relief. Dan, Bruno really has come on as of late in his last 4 appearances. 10 2/3 innings pitched, only 2 earned runs, all coming out of the bullpen. And in 2 of those appearances, he's pitched in the 7th inning or later, a guy that head coach Colin Martin can turn to in the high-leverage situations going into the latter half of this season and postseason play that's right around the corner. 1-0 count now on Zachary Robinson. Second baseman here today is 1 for 2 with a strikeout. His lone hit was a double in the second inning where he would score as well. The kick and the pitch home from Bruno is in there for a strike as Robinson swings and misses. 1-1 count with 1 out in the inning. That latest strikeout was number 21 for Bruno in now 19 innings pitched as a Stallion here in the summer of 2025. He averages more than a strikeout per inning. Right-hander fires a breaking ball in there for strike 2. Back-to-back hitters now where he's ahead 1-2. Van Valkenburg went the first 3. He allowed 1 run to come across in the second. But over his 3 innings, only 1 earned. Ryder then through the 4th, allowed 1 run. Brammer allowed 1 run in the 5th. Stallions have scored in every inning except for the 3rd. They lead 11-3, and Bruno completely fools Robinson with back-to-back breaking balls. 2 batters face, 2 strikeouts for Bruno, 2 outs in the 6th inning.
Can't ask for much more out of Greg Bruno. Teeing his team up for a shot to mercy in the 7th, and he's just been dominant here. He's been doing a nice job sequencing his pitches, switching from fastball to off-speed here in the bottom of the 6th.
Stallions leading 11-3, up by 8. The mercy rule has to be in the back of their head. They only need 2 more runs next inning and a 0 from Bruno in the 7th to give the Stallions a mercy rule victory. 10 after 3 here in the PGCBL as Jaden Kennedy flies a fastball out play for strike 1. Kennedy to this point in the ballgame 0 for 1 with a walk. He walked back in the 2nd and struck out in the 4th. That strikeout was 1 of 3 for John Ryder. He was pitcher number 2 for the Stallions here tonight. Bruno set at the belt. Waits a little bit. Deep breath from the right-hander. Kicks and fires home, and it's flied out of play for strike 2. Greg Bruno is 1 strike away from striking out the side in what would be a perfect inning.
Just what you want to see out of Greg Bruno. He's been so dominant. These Outlaws hitters, just haven't been able to keep up.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Jaden Kennedy in the batter's box. He hits 8th in the lineup for Oneonta. 6, 7, 8 due up in the inning. Bruno struck out 6 and 7, looking to strike out 8 here in Kennedy. The kick and the pitch home. Fastball just misses at the top of the zone. It's now 1-2.
It's the right location there. From Bruno was hoping for the swing and miss out of Kennedy. I would go right back to it here.
The fastball is his go-to pitch. Bruno, we mentioned it earlier, tops out at about 97 miles an hour. This past spring, pitched from Embry-Riddle, but next spring he's going to be pitching for the Pirates of Seton Hall. Out in the Big East, Bruno fires a breaking ball that he thought was strike 3, but the home plate umpire here at Damaski Field did not. Count now moves to 2-2. Dugout making some noise for the Stallions as well. They all thought it was strike 3, and it would be the third strikeout of the inning for Bruno.
That one just missed for Greg Bruno. I would still go back to the same spot.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bruno set at the belt. Long, deep breath. The kick and the pitch goes over the head of Kennedy with the fastball. That's to brush off Kennedy in the batter's box after 3 consecutive breaking balls. Bruno's letting Kennedy know, I still got 97 in my arm. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom 6. Ponies lead 11-3. Greg Bruno looking to put up the first 0 of the ballgame for a Stallions pitcher since Van Valkenburg did so in the 3rd. The payoff pitch, breaking ball, misses upstairs, ball 4. Full count walk to Kennedy, brings up Hugo Cohnhurst and a runner on first.
Just unfortunate right there for Greg Bruno. You had the 0-2 count, 4 straight balls, and you allow your first runner of the game.
6th walk of the ball game for Stallions pitchers here today, averaging just about 1 an inning. Last night, the walks really hurt them as well. They had 7 against the Amsterdam Mohawks. Charles Batista had 6 of those in his inning and 2/3 pitch for the Ponies. He threw in the 4th and 5th in relief of Matt Murtaugh. Stallions fell last night 8-4 to the number 1 overall seed in the Eastern Conference. Amsterdam Mohawks, as Bruno gets ahead of his 4th straight batter, Hugo Cohnhurst, with the fastball 4 strike 1. Cohnhurst, to this point in the ball game, sac fly, RBI in the 2nd, and a single in the 5th, which he came around to score last inning as well. The kick and the pitch from Bruno is chopped over to the second baseman, Comiskey. Fields and will go the long way to first in time for out number 3. Here in the 6th inning, Bruno allows a 2-out walk, but puts up the first 0 for Stallions pitching since the 3rd. We're going to the 7th. Score remains 11-3.
Survivors, a team of doctors, nurses, researchers, and supporters.
Top of the 7th. Here in Oneonta, Dan Challen with you alongside Nick Zuppi. Dallas Outwinners call to the bullpen. Tyler Blake coming in for the Outlaws, just his 2nd appearance so far of the season. Only other one was a couple of days ago. Pitched an inning. No runs coming across with a strikeout. Misses upstairs here to Anthony Lino. Blake from Cortland, one of two players from Cortland who have joined the Outlaws late here. Lucas Granger being the other one. 1-1 pitch, misses outside. Stallions have scored a run in 3 straight innings. 2 in the 4th, 4 in the 5th. 1 last inning in the 6th. And looking for 2 more here to try and mercy the Outlaws in 7. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Off speed, tails in, and the count's 2-2 here to Anthony Lino, who knocked in 2 RBIs on an error by the third baseman Kennedy in his last at-bat. Blake fires. Lino chases, makes contact, goes into the glove of Wirtz, and there's 1 down here in the 7th on the strikeout.
The center fielder from the University of Louisville, number 18, Griffin Crane.
Blake had a strikeout last time he pitched. Picks up right where he left off with 1 down. And then Griffin Crane steps in. Crane 0 for 2 tonight. A walk in his last at-bat. Takes a first pitch strike. Errors have been a problem tonight for the Outlaws. They've got already 3. And it really hurt Matt Prostapil in his last appearance here. 2 innings for him, 6 hits, 5 runs, 3 of those being earned. 2 walks and a strikeout was a rough roll for him, and these Stallions just kind of knocked him around. One. Crane chops it over to the right side. Waterman flips to first. It's in time. 2 quick outs out of the pen for Blake here in the 7th.
To the Stallions' leadoff spot, the shortstop from Notre
Top of the
Dame,
order here for the Stallions.
Z.
Jamie Z steps in. Jamie's had a great night here in Oneonta. 2 for 3. A couple of stolen bases mixed in there as well, and a couple of runs. Takes a first pitch ball. Seems like he's finding his swing.
It's his 3rd game back from the injured list. Or not the injured list, just from missing some time here in the summer of 2025, and he's doing so in a big way. On base 3 times tonight.
Finds himself in a 2-0 count. Stallions would love a win here tonight. Push their magic number to just 1 for the home playoff game. Z loops a ball into right field. Burnsworth moves back a couple of steps. He makes the play. It's a 1-2-3, top of the 7th for Tyler Blake out of the bullpen. Time to stretch here in Oneonta with the Stallions up by 8.
As we enter the bottom of the 7th inning. 17th stretch, sponsored by Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Bottom of the 7th here in Oneonta. Dan Challen with you alongside Nick Zuppi as we get ready for the final 15 outs here in Oneonta. 10-1-2 coming to the dish. Greg Bruno in his 2nd inning of work. did a very nice job in the bottom of the 6th, a couple of strikeouts, a 2-out walk, and then retired Hugo Kornhurst on a ground ball over to second. First pitch is spiked in the dirt for ball 1. Owen Burnsworth at the plate. 0 for 2 tonight with a couple of pop-outs on the infield. Bruno goes to the fastball. Gets a called strike at the bottom of the zone. 1-1. 8-run ball game here in Oneonta. Last trip for the Stallions here to Oneonta this season and last game between these two sides. Stallions on the cusp of sweeping the season series 7-0. Power fastball from Bruno puts him ahead. 1-2. Most of the crowd is left here in Oneonta tonight. Started with a pretty decent-sized crowd on Breast Cancer Awareness Night here in Oneonta. But since then, most of the crowd filing out. A good amount of summer campers sleep away up here in Oneonta, enjoying some perfect game collegiate baseball. Strike 3 called, bottom of the zone by Greg Bruno. His 3rd K of the evening, and there's 1 down in the bottom of the 7th.
Nice job from Bruno. Since he's come in, he's done nothing but pound the zone with strikes. Ryder and Brammer each had multiple walks in the 4th and 5th, but since Bruno came in the 6th, he's done a nice job of mowing down these Outlaws hitters in an 8-run ball game.
Top of the order for the Outlaws, it's Kazuhara at the plate. 1 for 2 tonight, walk in his last at-bat. First pitch fouled off to the left side for strike 1. Bruno set. Here's the pitch. Good amount of tail on the two-seamer there. He finds himself up 0-2, looking for a 4th strikeout in just his 6th batter. Long hold from Bruno. Here's the pitch. Strike 3. Gets Uhara on 3 pitches. For a 2nd straight inning, back-to-back Ks for Greg Bruno, and there's 2 down.
Bruno's coming in and blowing him away with the smoke. 2 outs in the inning.
The shortstop from Eastern Connecticut, say number 5, Matt Carrera.
Matt Carrera next year for the Outlaws. Bruno has just allowed 1 runner to reach so far. In the 6 batters that he's faced, that was a 2-out walk to the 8-hole hitter, Jaden Kennedy. First pitch misses outside for ball 1. Stallions will play Mohawk Valley tomorrow night at home. That could be very well a preview of what is to come in the first round of the PGCBL playoffs in just a week's time. Bruno down 2-0. Mohawk Valley was duking it out with Utica. And the last that we saw, Diamond Dogs were leading that game 3-2 in the bottom of the 8th. And that would be a big win for Mohawk Valley to level things with Utica with just a couple of games to go. Bruno's having some trouble here against the 2-hole hitter. 3 balls and no strikes.
And the Diamond Dogs currently sit in 4th place in the PGCBL East. They would be the last team to make the playoffs, and it's going to be a race, really, to figure out who that last team is. Boonville, they've lost 10 in a row, but still have a fighting chance down the season.
Bruno finds it for a strike, and for the Lumberjacks, they're staying alive as of right now, leading the Amsterdam Mohawks 6-4 in the bottom of the 6th. So not dead just yet. Bruno fires. Nearly clips Carrera, but Bruno pitching just like he did in the 6th, strikes out the first 2 batters, but now issues the 2-out walk. Zach Porter will step to the plate.
And Porter has a 13-game hitting streak on the line here, Dan. During that time, 6 RBIs as well.
8-run ball game, 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th. A big lead for Uhara, who was retired. Carrero was making noise. It forces Bruno to step off. Bruno goes back to the fastball, gets the swing and miss for strike 1 on Porter, who's 0 for 3 with 3 flyouts here tonight. The Outlaws will play their next game on the 27th. That'll be a trip up to Utica before finishing their season at home here against the Amsterdam Mohawks on the 28th of July. A 1. Bruno has produced 2 swings and misses from Zach Porter. Looking to strike out the side here in the 7th. Set at the belt. Here's the pitch. 2-hopper over to Jamie Z at short. Jumps, makes the play, and flips over to Comiskey for the 3rd out of the inning. So
After 7, still 11
it's back-to-back clean innings of work out of Greg Bruno, and still an 8-run game going to the 8th.
7-6.
Eighth inning here in Oneonta. Adonis Medina at the plate, leading things off for the Stallions. He takes a first pitch strike from Tyler Blake in his 2nd inning of work. And Blake in the 7th, a 1-2-3 inning. The first time that's happened tonight for any Oneonta pitcher. Clips Medina on the foot. This is going to be a hit by pitch for Medina. First base runner allowed out of Blake. And brings the hard-hitting Dylan Passo to the plate, who tripled in his last at-bat.
The first baseman from Notre Dame, number 22, Dylan Passo.
Stallions only need 2 runs to make it a 10-run ball game. If they do so, Bruno with a scoreless 8th, the mercy rule would come into effect.
Definitely trying to gun for that, and a speedy Medina over there at first base. He seems to be totally fine after getting hit on the foot in his last at-bat. The 1-0. Passo checks his swing, does not go around. On the pitch low in the zone. 2-0. Blake fires. Inside fastball. 3 balls and no strikes. Blake has thrown 4 balls in a row. And the 3-0 is a fastball right down Broadway. Paso will certainly be searching for something to hit here in a 3-1 count. Has a couple hard hit balls here tonight. Takes his walk though. 2 for 3 on the night. 2 base on balls. Stallions have runners at first and second for Logan Sanchez.
Perfect opportunity for Sanchez to stat pat a little bit in an 11-3 ball game. Runner in scoring position. He's already driven in 1 with a sac fly last inning in the, 2 innings ago in the 7th.
And he had a single in the 5th, which broke an 0-for-6 streak for him. Takes a first pitch ball on the outside part of the plate.
Oneonta getting an arm going in the bullpen as a result of Blake struggling to find the zone here in the 8th.
Sanchez, a big cut and a miss on the outside pitch. 1-1. Both runners will go on the pitch. Sanchez swings and fouls it off to the right side, so everybody will go back, and it seemed like with the jump that Medina got, he might have just been safe anyway, even if Sanchez had not swung. 1 ball and 2 strikes as Blake searched for the first out of this 8th after a 1-2-3 7th for him. The pitch. Off speed, and Sanchez just fights it away at the last moment. We'll do it again at 1-2.
Medina has 2 stolen bases here tonight as well, 1 in the 2nd and 1 in the 1st inning of this ball game. Great opportunity to pick up number 3.
Here's the pitch. Sanchez smacks it over to the left side. Going to be a tough play for Carrera, and he bobbles it. 4th error of the ball game for the Outlaws, and the bases are loaded for the Stallions here in the 8th.
Taking another look at that one. It was going to be a tough play for Carrera regardless. Sanchez nubs one in play. He had to come in on it and was going to look to go to 3rd. But nonetheless, the bases are loaded for the Ponies.
Brandon Fish has an RBI triple already in this game and trying to get at least 2 runs across here and give the Stallions a chance to end this game early here in Oneonta tonight. Nobody out, and the base is juiced. The 1-0. Fish takes a called strike at the knees, 1-1. Already has 2 RBIs in this game. 2 for 4 overall. Fastball misses at the top of the zone. Medina at 3rd, Paso at 2nd, Sanchez over at 1st. 2-1. Fish chops it foul. And the count's knotted at 2.
Still nobody out in the inning. Ponies have the bases loaded. Base hit. Could score 2.
Fish takes the off speed at the top of the zone and goes down looking. 1 out here in the 8th.
Next up for the Stallions.
Casey Comiskey next.
Number 33, Casey Comiskey.
Singled in his last at-bat. Looking to drive home a couple of runs here for Saugerties. First pitch is fouled straight back. 0-1. "12 hits, 11 runs on the board for Saugerties, and they're looking for more. Comiskey, a chopper on the left side that is going to roll foul. No balls and 2 strikes on Casey. Oh, 2. Comiskey, a weak fly ball into right field. Burnsworth is there. Tagging from third is Medina. Passo's not going to go over to third. It'll score a run, and the Stallions lead by 9.
Great job from Comiskey. Not trying to do too much in a 2-strike count. Puts the ball in play and gets underneath it just enough to score the runner from third.
And 7th, the catcher, number 27.
9-run ball game, and George Baker steps in. Walked in his last at-bat. Lefty on lefty. Runners at first and second. First pitch nails Baker in the back. And he will take first, second hit by pitch of the inning.
And last time he played, George Baker was hit by the pitch twice. That came 2 games ago against the Boonville Lumberjacks. Baker was the designated hitter, and that one was hit in the 4th and the 6th.
From St. John's, number 29, Dylan Fitzsimmons.
Bases loaded for Dylan Fitzsimmons with 2 outs. Here in the top of the 8th, Stallions have 1 across. He takes a first pitch strike. Outlaws do have an arm ready to go out there in the pen. Just signaling back and forth. This ball gets away. Passo's chugging home, and he's going to score. Pivotal 10th run for the Stallions. It's 13-3.
Big run for the Ponies. Now it's a 10-run ball game, and all Bruno has to do in the bottom half is put up a 0, and the Stallions win an inning early here at the Maskey Field.
Certainly would love to preserve some arms and get out of Oneonta a little bit early. It's a long bus ride back to Saugerties, around 2 hours. One ball, 1 strike on Fitzsimmons. 2-1. Bruno seems to be the man that will come on to try and close it out in the bottom of the 8th. But pitching coach Prax Vigil walking down to the dugout, or walking down to the bullpen, I should say. Could be another arm coming. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 runners on with 2 across here in the top of the 8th. Pitch. Fitzsimmons cuts and misses. Stallions leave 2 runners on, but they get 2 across. They just need 3 outs and nothing to score in the bottom of the 8th. 10 this game early. Let's see if they can do it when we come back.
Straight up.
Bottom of the 8th here in Oneonta. The Stallions are up by 10. They just need 3 more outs to end this game early, and it'll be against 4, 5, and 6 of this Oneonta Outlaw offense. Stallions just with 3 Mercy Rule wins here so far this season, and 2 of them have come against the Oneonta Outlaws. Looking for another one here to end the season series and push their number to just 1 to clinch the 2nd seed in the PGCBL East. Bruno is set. Here's the pitch. Fastball right down the middle, cut on a miss for strike 1. Stallions do have an arm going in the pen. If Bruno can't close down things here in the bottom of the 8th. Two quick fastballs and 2 quick strikes from Greg Bruno.
Bruno loves his fastball, sitting at 91 and 93 here tonight for the Ponies. A guy who tops out at 97 miles an hour going to the Pirates of Seton Hall next year.
0-2. Just misses the top of the zone. That 97-mile-per-hour fastball really one of the things that got him that commitment to Seton Hall next year. He's been doing a great job here in Saugerties for the Stallions. 1-2. Fouled back to the screen. And we'll do it again on 1 ball, 2 strikes.
We've been talking about it here in this AB. Bruno loves his fastball. All 4 pitches in the at-bat to Waterman here in the bottom of the 8th have been good old number 1.
Nothing better than the 4-seamer, and that is Bruno's bread and butter. See if he goes back to it here in the 1-2. The pitch. Misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Stallions just need 3 outs here in the bottom of the 8th to go home early. They certainly would love to. And they will close out the season at home outside of 1 trip to Glens Falls on Monday. Swing and a miss from Waterman. His 3rd strikeout of the night. 1 down in the 8th.
Bruno blows him away with the smoke. Cole Waterman with the silver sombrero. 3 strikeouts, 1 in the 1st, 4th, and now the 8th. Bruno K'ing up the Outlaws here tonight, primarily with the heat.
Dane Richards at the plate. One ball, 1 strike count with 1 out. And that one might have touched 97, pounding the box with the heater right there. And it's 1-2.
The right-hander for the Ponies, Greg Bruno, out on the mound. Using the gas to his advantage, all of these Outlaw hitters seem to be eons behind it.
Looking for a 6th strikeout here tonight, and he gets it at the knees. 2 down, and the Stallions are 1 out away from closing this ball game out.
Taking another look at the K from Bruno. Just completely paints the outside corner for strike 3, fooling Richards.
The catcher from Lehigh, number 17, Ian Work.
Goes with the off-speed at the top of the zone, 1-0. Bruno looking to strike out the side here on the bottom of the 8th in a 13-3 game. Stallions just needing one more out. He just misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes.
Bruno's had at least 2 strikeouts in every inning of work here tonight. 2 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th, and now 2 in the 8th.
Bruno fires the fastball. He just misses upstairs, but he's pounding that box with that 97-mile-per-hour hammer heater. In a 3-0 count, though, and he's issued 2 two-out walks so far here in his 3 innings of work. And there it is once again, the 2-out walk. And the run to keep this game going, and Ian Wirtz is aboard.
Now up the right fielder, number 48.
In each of his 3 innings, Bruno started with 2 strikeouts and then a walk with 2 outs, and then got a ground out to end the inning. My money says he's going to get a ground out here to win the ball game.
Certainly would love that. Zachary Robinson at the plate. There's the fastball in there. No balls, 1 strike.
See the dirt pop off Baker's glove when he catches the 4-seamer from Bruno? Heat.
One ball, 1 strike. Stallions just need one more out to end this game early here in Oneonta. Gives a check over at first. One strike away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs. Tried to go with the off speed. 2-2.
Go back to the smoke. It's your best pitch. It's working. Top out about 97. No way the Outlaw hitters can catch up to it.
Strike 3 at the knees, and this ball game is over. The Stallions win at a final of 13-3. And what a game it was out of Greg Bruno, who finished things off in this one. Couple of thank yous to hand out to our producer, Bella Holleran, my partner, Nick Zuppi, our sideline reporter, Hannah Tampassis. Stallions win it 13-3.